It's a rivalry showdown with playoff implications on the line as the 3-3 Rockets take on the 3-3 champions of Cascade here on TC Sports 1.
And good afternoon and welcome into the Rock Murray E. Holton Memorial Field as we get set for a key showdown rivalry game here tonight. A lot on the line as the 3-3 Forrest Rockets take on the 3-3 champions of Cascade. Good afternoon, Troy Cash and Ricky Sweeney. Soon to be joined by Noble Mays as he is on a jet ride from East Tennessee trying to make it back in before game time. Also, Peter Wilson, Gabe Hall with us this afternoon as we bring you all the action here from the Rock. And Ricky, this one certainly could be make or break for both of these teams. A win here tonight virtually assures you of a playoff spot. A loss here tonight, and you're on the outside looking in.
That's certainly the case. The Rockets managed to get above 500 at 3-2 a couple of weeks ago, but then last week back at 500 is 3-3 after a stunning defeat. Marion County looks like we were trying to get ourselves in position to win that game or at least make it go into overtime. Didn't work out for us. Now we got to fight to get above 500 again tonight.
Cascade, of course, comes in with an identical mark of 3-3, and Ricky, they have been an up-and-down Jekyll and Hyde team just like the Rockets. Their wins this season, they pounded Community last week, got out on top of them 38-0 and just cruised in that contest. And, you know, it's 46-0 in the Battle of Bedford last week. They had 409 yards of offense, and they held Community to only 46. So a great effort for them last week. They come in with a lot of steam as they are trying to take down the Rockets, and we're going to get into the numbers a little bit later on this and just what this rivalry looks like. But both of these teams know, especially after Loretto beat Summertown last night 35-0, the Mustangs already have 2 region victories. They would hold the tiebreaker over the Rockets right now due to head-to-head, and if the Rockets were to lose to Cascade, they would hold a tiebreaker. So if you're Forrest, you need to win here tonight, or else you've got to go on the road to Mount Pleasant and your last home game against Richland. You need to win them both to have a shot to get into the playoffs. So it's a huge, huge game tonight.
It sure is. And those last two games on the road against 2 superior teams who found something this year in Mount Pleasant and Richland, and they're going to be tough on their home turf.
Yeah, and that's something you got to look at. Now, meanwhile, it's still in play for the Rockets to pick up a region championship. Don't discount that fact. They are 1-1 in region play right now. If you win out, you win the region.
Hey, I like that. There's something to play for right there.
Most definitely. A lot to play for Cascade. 0-2 in the region, but they have already taken on Mount Pleasant and Richland. So the 2 top teams right now, they've already played. They've got Forrest tonight. Then they have Summertown and Loretto remaining. So for the champions, they're thinking, hey, we win here tonight. We're looking pretty good with a couple of games left that we feel like we might be able to win there too.
Definitely. They have the easier road to get there. The Rockets, the tougher road.
Most definitely. And for the Rockets, of course, offensively, they have been great this season. It's just been the defense at times that has had difficulties, and hopefully tonight they will be able to find their way and pick up a key region win. With that being said, let's take our first commercial break of the evening, and we'll be back with more here on TC Sports 1.
Funeral home and cremation services had its beginning in 1939 when Thomas H. Lawrence established the business. Lawrence Funeral Home has always strived to provide compassionate, dignified, and professional service to every family it serves, regardless of their circumstances. Lawrence Funeral Home pledges to the families of Marshall and surrounding counties to continue providing excellence in funeral service. In your time of need, our family is there for your family. Lawrence Funeral Home and Cremation Service.
Stop in and visit Mack Equipment, your largest Exmark and Cub Cadet dealer in the state of Tennessee. Locally owned and operated in the heart of Chapel Hill at 109 North Horton Parkway, next to Southern Roots Hair Salon. Mack Equipment offers parts, sales, service, and rental. Their factory-certified technicians also service multiple brands of outdoor power equipment, making this a perfect stop for your future equipment repairs. Don't forget to visit our 2 other locations in Murfreesboro and Lewisburg. That's Mack Equipment.
And welcome back. A key as we said, matchup here tonight, more ways than one. This is a great rivalry game as two schools very close in proximity to each other, have played a ton of times over the years. This series is 46th meeting. Forrest has won 28. Cascade has won 17 with no ties. And this series has really been a roller coaster ride for both teams. Cascade dominated the series early on in the mid or in the 2000s. They won 9 of 10, and they outscored Forrest by a combined 255 to 101. But as the Janet Jackson song says, "What have you done for me lately?" It's the Rockets who have gotten it done here lately. They've won 10 of the last 12 by a combined score of 419 to 185. And Rocket fans will tell you it would be 11 of 12 had Max Kirby not been injured in that 2020 game.
I think everybody would agree to that. Yes, sir.
And the scores, over the last 12 games, have been, as we said, kind of lopsided. Forrest has kind of owned the series after Cascade had their way in the early 2000s. And for the Rockets, a lot of confidence in this game coming in. Of course, we went to Cascade last year. You remember they were undefeated, riding high, and the Rockets really had a great game plan there, just pounded Cascade into submission 24-7 last year. So they want to do more of the same this year. Cascade feels like, hey, they've got a few athletes. They want to spread it out. They'll do a few different things. They'll put it in the air a little bit more, and they feel like they can give the Rocket defense some problems tonight.
Yeah, I do remember that game last year. Cascade maybe a little overconfident. I don't know. You can get that way at times, but whatever the case, the Rockets had a great game plan. That game, I remember everything we did went right. Everything that we did was good and right. And Cascade waiting around for the game to come to them. The Rockets took the game to them.
Yeah, I think line play in the second half on both sides, that defense last year was just absolutely fantastic. If you got them a couple of touchdowns, you felt pretty good about your chances for the rest of the game. And, of course, they got 24 on the board, kind of wore down Cascade in the second half and really played ball control, ran the football very well. And that's kind of the blueprint they want to have tonight, even though they will be without Chris Davis, number one, who is second on the team in rushing yards with 310 this season. He injured a knee last week against Marion County as he was twisting, trying to catch a pass going out of bounds. Did talk to him yesterday. He said, I'm going to miss this week. Of course, we have the bye next week, which is great timing for him. He expects to be back for the Richland game the following week.
He's going to be missed on defense, too, Troy. He was one of our better tacklers. We're lacking just a little bit in the tackling category, but Chris, I feel like one of the better tacklers on the team, and Coach is going to miss him on defense.
Yeah, and that's the thing. They have taken a lot of hits defensively. As people have said, it's been no secret that the defense has given up a whole lot more points this year than last, but they've had to deal with some key injuries, had to move a lot of folks around. And, people will say, hey, every team deals with injury. You got to have that next man up mentality. But early on, when you lose someone in Brenton Burchell who was locked down back in the back, you could turn one half of the field over to him. You had to turn that over to someone and maybe not have the confidence or the playing time for that individual that comes in to replace Birch. Then you have Davis and that linebacking core. They've got guys that have been banged up all season long. They have played a lot of bodies in a lot of different spots trying to find the right combination.
You want to think that the guys will realize that. They missed Birch, and now they're going to miss Chris. And somebody's got to step up and make that difference up. And we're waiting on that to happen. Maybe tonight's the night.
Let's hope so. And, if you're ever going to find your groove, you need to find it tonight. It would be an ideal time here in front of the home folks as we've got 70-degree weather right now as we approach kickoff time. With that being said, let's take another break. We'll be back with more here on your TC Sports 1 pregame show.
Hometown banking. It's having your decisions made by a bank right here in your town, not in another city, county, or even state. It's neighbors and friends who know your name and take the time to greet you when you walk in. It's modern technology such as online banking and mobile check deposits while still being able to talk to a living, breathing human. Come visit us at 4641 Nashville Highway or call us at 364-7888. First Commerce Bank, your first choice for hometown banking, member FDIC, and an equal housing lender.
Moving forward with strong tradition. It's the town's motto, but it holds so true today. The town of Chapel Hill is balancing expanded growth with preserving the small town traditions that make it special. The town's administration and employees would like to take this time to reaffirm their commitment to the citizens of Chapel Hill and to wish the Rockets and Lady Rockets success in their upcoming seasons. From the home of the Lions Super Bowl of the South, the town of Chapel Hill says, "Go Rockets!"
And welcome back as we get set for kickoff here on a beautiful afternoon here in Chapel Hill. Temperatures are probably going to go into the 60s before kickoff and maybe into the 50s before we get through tonight. But the breeze has died down, much like last night. It was a stiff breeze early in the afternoon, but the breeze has subsided, and it looks like we're going to have a beautiful football evening here in Chapel Hill.
Yeah, only one element. Everything else is perfect, though. The wind. I was watching G-Squared, Gavin Grissom, doing this kickoff practicing out there tonight. And if you're kicking against the wind, he's been getting like a 9-iron. We mentioned 9-irons last night. In golf, you can hit a 9-iron and make it back up sometimes on some good grass on the greens. We've got some good grass out here. He's been making that ball back up like 4 or 5 yards if it hits in no man's land where nobody's at. And that'd be a great opportunity for a long onside kick.
You think about tonight, Ricky, and I'm glad you brought that up. This game, by all accounts, both of these teams are definitely looking for which team is going to show up. Both sides of the football have had their moments for both of these teams. If you've got a decided advantage, it's in the kicking game. Grissom is a tremendous weapon. And
you got to take advantage of the little intangible things that the Rockets sometimes you can control those things by catching your opponent off guard on an onside kick or kicking the ball strategically where they're not they're not in their place there, and with some open space there. And if you tell your team what you're going to do, you might make that play successful.
Yeah, and Cascade, Isaac Chapa will handle some of their kicking duties, and we're watching him warm up before the game, and he's not doing a bad job, but when you got G-Square, it really makes it tough on you.
Yeah, there's that ball backing up on him right there.
And, Ricky, we talked about last week, they went for 2 an awful lot against Community. So,
it tells you something right there.
Of course, and it's hard to read into. Cascade really pummeled Huntland, and, of course, Huntland has been down and, not very good right now, and they beat Community. And, of course, we know how Community has struggled over the years. They also beat Cannon County, who has long been a team that struggled. They beat them by 6 in the second game of the season. So you're like, 3-3, where are the other signature victories? They're looking for a big win here tonight. But if you look at common opponent, Moore County beat Cascade in the opening game of the season 32-20. Meanwhile, they beat Forrest Rockets right here 46-21. Also on the season, Mount Pleasant beats Cascade with only 20-13. And also Richland, and that game was close early on, but Richland ends up pulling away in the second half and wins 41-14. So the champions, they're 3-3, but those wins, they don't really have a signature win in that group, and you can pretty much say the same thing about the Rockets. A Summertown team that's still struggling. They've lost or won only one game. Rockets went on the road, struggled to beat them, but ended up defense got them through that night as they won 17-9. You beat Eagleville, who has struggled a little bit this season, in Cornersville the first couple of games of the season, and both of those teams right now are having their difficulties, and you don't want to be the Bulldogs tonight as they are running headlong into a Fayetteville City squad that is going to be one of the contenders for the state.
I think you're right, Troy. Coach Eli certainly has confidence in his great field goal kicker, G-Squared, Gavin Grissom, and he's got confidence in his running game. These guys can put up some numbers for the Rockets. Again, running game, give them an A. Kicking game, give them an A, maybe an A+ there. But the defensive side, again, we keep coming back to that, is the tackling issue. And hopefully tonight, again, so I'll say this again, hopefully tonight we'll get that thing figured out.
Most definitely. Let's take a break. We'll come back and take a look at both teams. As we get into a little bit more depth, we'll have an interview with Coach Eli Stevenson coming up here on TC Sports 1. Coach, tough one last week, of course. Fought hard to the end, marrying outstanding athletes all the way around, but you had to be happy with how your guys just continued to battle back time after time.
Yes, sir. This is the first game I think we played for 4 quarters, the whole game. our kids, they came out ready to battle. They knew it was going to be a challenge, and they stepped up and they took it head on, and they never backed down. And that's the main thing I'm proud of.
This one, of course, you step back into region play and a lot going on this week. You win this game, you pretty much assure yourself of getting into the playoffs and clinch your spot there. Also, of course, huge rivalry game with Cascade. It's one that players and fans kind of circle every year as it's an annual bloodletting. So that on top of all the importance of the other factors has got to make this a big one.
It is a big one. Cascade is a rival for the community, and it's a region game too. If we come out and take care of business, we're still in a shot for the region championship, and that's one thing. It's one of the goals the kids have, but we got to take care of Cascade this week, and the kids have had a good week of practice, and I think they're ready to play.
Coach, with all the injuries and the shuffling that you've had to do you feel like maybe guys have gotten more settled in, more comfortable in their positions now that they may play a little faster?
Yes, sir. The more reps you get, the better you get. We got some new guys at different positions, and they're coming along for us. We just got to be able to take it from the practice field to the game field.
Offensively, of course, still putting up plenty of points. Defensively, what do you feel like you got to do to be better to turn this thing around?
We just got to play fundamentally sound. We got to keep outside shoulder free at outside linebacker. Safety's got to come downhill, cut it back inside. The D-line, they got to come off, shoot their hands, play their gaps, and play physical up front. The main thing is fundamental football. That's one thing that we struggled with this year. But the kids, they got great work ethic, and they're trying to get it fixed.
Coach, running game, of course, has been very successful. You mixed it up well, thrown a little bit more with Ryan Hill, and he really seems to be maturing. And it seems like throughout the season you put more confidence in him to put it in the air a little bit more and kind of keep everybody a little bit more off balance.
Yes, sir. Coming in, we knew Ryan could throw the ball pretty well, but we knew the game would be fast for him. It slowed down a little bit for him, and we're taking the reins off of him a little bit and letting him do a little bit more now.
Aren't you glad you had all that depth in the backfield? You've been ravaged by injuries, especially in that position, but you've got some good depth to recall on.
Yes, and that goes to the work ethic of the kids. I tell the kids the hardest position on the team has been a backup, because you never know when you got to go in. And with Chris Davis going down last week, Eli Bell, Antonio Maribel, they came in and they played well for us. And they got to pick up the game this week, though.
Coach, from your perspective, what's the one thing you have to do well to win this game Friday night?
We got to play our style football. We got to win the line of scrimmage. They're going to try to win the line of scrimmage. They're big and physical, and we got to just attack on offense and attack on defense. Offense, we got to hold on the ball, and when we get down the red zone, we got to put it in. On defense, we got to do our jobs. We got to play fundamental football, and we got to rally to the ball.
Coach, as always, thanks for taking the time with us, and best of luck.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
And good to get to hear from Coach Eli Stevenson as we get set for tonight's matchup. And as we've said, Ricky, just so many times, and we've talked about, the Rockets can still run the table, but this team has been so Jekyll and Hyde this year that, you have the chance of running the table or you have the chance of going 3-7. It just depends on which team shows up tonight.
It sure does, and the teams that have been scouting us, they know what we do. They know our strengths. They know our weaknesses. So it's just the Rockets are going to have to perform to get it done. And other teams, they may come in. The two teams that are undefeated, Richland and Mount Pleasant, they may get, sometimes you can get overconfident. I remember Blanche came in here back in the late 60s against Chapel Hill, against the Rockets. We were like 33-point favorites. We lost 8-7 or 8-6, or anyway, we lost, and that shouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
So things can happen. So the Rockets got to remember that, and somebody's got to get in there and get them fired up. These guys have got to make something happen for themselves. Coaches give them a good game plan. They've got it there. They practice it. They know what they're doing. They know what to do. They've just got to go out there and do it.
Tonight, Ricky, I think it's probably going to boil down to, and this may be oversimplifying things, but who wins the line of scrimmage? The Rocket offensive line They graduated 3 senior starters off that line last year, but they had a ton of guys that got a lot of experience. They were expecting this to be one of the strengths of the team, and offensively they have played very well. And you're going to see tonight Spence Tankersley and Mikey Stoddard, your tackles, Riley Durbin, the manimal, and, of course, Mr. Gravy, Mr. Allen stepping in there as well, Luke Allen, and also Cameron Street at the center position. Those guys, if they can get that 2-3 yard push downfield off the line of scrimmage, open those holes up, it's going to make it a whole lot easier for the Rockets to be a little more diversified. They open up the passing game a little bit more against Marion last week. I think Ryan Hill put it in the air 14 times, completing 10. And, you know, he is very proficient, especially in those intermediate routes. Good decision-making for the freshman this year. And if you can really get that running game established, control the line of scrimmage, it's going to make it a whole lot easier all the way around.
Line of scrimmage, you go out and you punch them in the mouth right away. You push them back to 2 to 3 yards, just like you said. And our guys in the backfield, they don't need but that one good step to get ahead of the pursuit. And if you can keep them pushed back, they're going to beat them down the field and have some good gains tonight.
Yeah, and let's keep it with the Rockets side on the offense. You know, we've talked about the injuries. You've already had Birch go down. Davis is out, of course, in that running back core. And you talked about the development of the freshmen. And for us, we thought, you know, hey, these guys may get a few snaps here and there. Be nice to get them a year of development. But, hey, there has been no redshirt year for them. It has have to be step up and show out. And that's what, of course, Eli Bell has done first and foremost. And Cohen Grissom, although he's been injured, he'll be back tonight. I don't know how much playing time he'll see, but those two guys have really given him a lift, and the coaching staff is very confident in both those freshmen.
Oh, yeah, Eli Bell, he's been called on, and he's up to the task. He's performed nicely. And Cohen, before he got injured, he was up to it as well. But Eli Bell, hey, I'm confident giving him the ball back there anytime, any situation.
Dynamic in the return game as well. Bell, 21 carries, 265 yards on the season, averaging 12.6 yards per carry and 3 touchdowns for the freshman. He has definitely been a savior for this running game. Of course, with all the injuries that they've had up front, Tayton Swift has been a just centerpiece for this offense as he's been steady each and every game, averaging over 100 yards a game, 671 yards on the ground coming in here tonight. But you got to have someone to step up and, of course, carry the torch alongside him. And with Davis out tonight, Liam Bell, he has been a great workhorse. Bell has gotten most of his yards this year just doing the tough things, right up the middle. And Bell, 71 carries, 248 yards, and a couple of scores. And for him, I think he's getting healthier, Ricky. He seems to have a little bit more burst these last 2 or 3 games, running with a lot of authority, and good to see him kind of getting his confidence back. You look for big things from him tonight. This is one of those games, I think, when, you know, it's going to be blue collar, that you want to grind it out. If you need a few tough yards, you're going to give it to Bell.
I think if I remember, I don't have this stat with me right now, but I remember, if I remember correctly, a lot of Liam's carries in all our games so far, a lot of those he gets first downs for the Rockets, and that's very keeping the drive going, very important for the Rocket offense.
Now, the one thing that has really come on that maybe nobody expected, and you kind of have this every year when you're a ground-centric team, you think, well, those receivers, we may have somebody step up. It may not be what we're focusing on, but, wow, Tyler Ayers has really come on strong and has been a great target, and he and Ryan Hill really have a great chemistry together.
You talk about a catch of the year we saw last week. I gave him no chance, probability to catch that one, as they say on TV. They say that. But he went out and got that thing right before it hit the ground, and just a great reception there, and it don't get any better than that.
No, those guys are definitely dialed into each other. It'll be fun to see how much better they can get as a pass-catching combo this latter part of the season. So we'll be back. Let's take another break. We'll come back, talk a little bit about the Rocket defense as we continue on with your TC Sports 1 pregame show.
Amigo's Mexican Grill is the place you'll find all your authentic favorites, from burritos to enchiladas to sizzling fajitas, all served fast and fresh. Dine in, order online, or call in your order at 364-2222. Also, Amigos has catering services available for your next big occasion as well. Good food, good times at Amigos Mexican Grill, 216 South Horton Parkway. Visit their other locations in Lewisburg and Spring Hill. Amigos, proud supporters of the Rockets.
Lewisburg Animal Hospital serves the veterinary needs of Marshall County. They've grown to a 4-doctor practice specializing in small animal medicine. They offer advanced medicine, surgery, and nursing care in a personal and relaxed environment with the utmost compassion for their patients. For your pet's grooming and boarding needs, Maggie Roo Pet Retreat and Grooming Salon is located adjacent to the hospital. Call 931-359-5945 to schedule an appointment for your pet.
And welcome back as Ricky, let's take a look defensively at the Rockets. Of course, much with the offense, injuries have forced a ton of personnel changes. And last week against Marion, right there at the end. But for the Rockets, and I talked with Coach Stevenson a little bit off camera about this. I said, you think about during the season key plays and things that, just don't go your way. And it seems like every time that the Rockets have a break in coverage, have something that doesn't go their way, it is one of the more glaring things that you're going to see. Of course, the touchdown run with half a minute left last week for Marion County, 79 yards from Pickett, and take nothing away from him. He is outstanding. Mm-hmm. He had over 100 receiving, over 100 rushing, but 79 yards away from the goal line. You want to make sure you send that thing to overtime. Yeah, you do, and like you said, the big plays come at the most inopportune time. You go 99% of the football game, and you're pretty steady, and then boom, the one thing happens, and that's been happening to the Rockets this year. Yeah, and hopefully tonight they played well on the road against Summertown, and like last year, they were able to make a team one-dimensional. And when you can make a team one-dimensional, you can really shut them down. And Summertown didn't have the passing attack. Rockets knew that. They were able to take away the run. Here tonight, they're going to have to Cascade, one of those teams, they want to do both. They want to run it with Connor Huey. They want to throw it with Zamarion Dixon. So, Rockets are going to have to be on their toes. They don't want to give up the big play tonight. And, Ricky, as you said, the one consistent that you get from Rocket teams that this team has had trouble with this year is tackling. Yeah, the tackling has got to improve. And Dixon, the quarterback, he does like to run it. He does like to throw it. So if they send the receivers downfield on long pass routes, and then the defensive backs for the Rockets go with those receivers, then that could open up a hole for him just to tuck it and run to the ends, run up the middle, or run to the outside, and have some big gainers. So we got to work on pass. Got to get some pressure on the quarterback. And you talk about that back end back there. Bryce Tankersley's done a really nice job. And I was talking with Coach Stacy this week, and he said, you know what? He said he was the guy that had the least experience. He's come in, played very well back in the secondary for them. And, of course, you've got Swift back there as well, and they've been rotating personnel back at the free safeties. Eli Bell will get a look back there. You're going to see some other guys back there that they're going to try to work into the defensive secondary. I think Landon Groenveld is going to get the start tonight. And, they've just got to come up big. You can't have those breaks against a good team like Cascade as far as, wanting to be dual threat. You can't let anybody get behind you. Rockets coaching staff a couple of years ago in 2020 had a freshman quarterback who had never taken a varsity snap. They said, hey, you know what? We're going to play this thing vanilla. We're going to run the football. He only attempted one pass on the whole night. They said, hey, we ought to be good enough that we could run the football, rely on our defense, and win the ball game. What happens? Cascade gets 2 long plays, and that's basically about the extent of the offense for the night, but they were enough to get them the win. So, those big plays can really make a difference. Yeah, they'll come back to haunt you, and hopefully we got them in our memory banks and can improve on those past mistakes. As we see an absolutely gorgeous sunset here as the Cascade Band you see across the way. A lot of Champions fans making the short journey over from Bell Buckle as well as we get set for football action here on TC Sports 1, 3-3 Cascade, 3-3 Forrest coming up.
Eye Care Clinic, Dr. Jeffrey Jordan and his staff offer a wide range of services, including comprehensive eye exams, advanced testing, and eye disease management. Fashion frames from top names like Guess and Kate Spade. They also stay on top of new eye care advances like Vuity and Upneat. And that unique Dr. J touch that always leaves you with a smile until your next visit. Make your appointment at 359-4373. Advanced Eye Care Clinic, 815 East Commerce.
Your one-stop shop to keep your vehicle running smooth is J&J Automotive. From routine maintenance like oil changes to brake repairs, tires and alignment, and exhaust work as well, J&J has got you covered. They work on gas and diesel engines. Call Vince or Matt Jackson at 931-364-5602 or stop by their location at 1791 Highway 99. Keep your vehicle in tip-top shape at J&J Automotive.
And as we see Mr. Vince, Mr. Matt Jackson there, some of our great local sponsors there at J&J Automotive. Urge you to stop by and support all our local sponsors that help make this broadcast possible. We've been extremely blessed that we've got great community support, and we ask you in turn, please get out and support those folks as well, as they're helping us to be able to bring you this Rocket program.
They certainly are. We appreciate all those fine folks, and I want to say hey to the folks listening on Duck River, and again, you know who you are.
We also want to say thanks to one of our fine sponsors, Apex Bank, who put on the Forrest fish fry, and we certainly sampled. It was well worth the price of admission, Ricky Sweeney.
Very good. Where we going next week is what I want to know.
I'm telling you, it's an off week next week. I don't know what we're going to do. We would have to go a long way to find food better than that.
Yeah, that and somebody we didn't have to wash dishes. We didn't have to cook it. It was awesome. Thanks Apex Bank for making all that possible for our football community here tonight.
Of course, all the proceeds from the Forrest fish fry going to support Forrest High School. Great community support here. Everything you do here in Chapel Hill, always someone out to help you make that possible.
Yeah, we do have a lot of local support, and there's always each sporting team we have, and we've got I think we've got a young lady going to the state tournament in golf. Now, I mentioned that earlier to you, and I almost forgot it, but I think Miss Browning for the Rockets came in second in the region last week, and I think she'll be headed to Gatlinburg, to Sevierville there, to participate in the state golf tournament, TSSAA state tournament. Wish her well, Miss Maggie Browning. What a cool experience for her. We certainly wish her well, as we've gotten pretty spoiled to the success we've had in the athletic programs here. Yeah, we got so many teams, and then somebody all the time steps up and gets that thing going, and most of the time they stay with it and make it a success, and take our hats off to those folks as well. With that being said, let's take another break. When we return, we'll talk a little bit about the region games on tap tonight. We've got a big one, and also what to expect as the enrollment numbers have been released by the TSSAA. We'll take a peek into that, what that could mean for the Rockets as well.
Know that with Apex Banking Online, you can access your accounts, pay bills, and send money to friends and family anytime. Our online banking feature gives you the advantage of secure banking right from anywhere. With our mobile app and online services, banking has never been more convenient. We're here to serve you wherever you go. Visit us in Chapel Hill or call 931-246-7105. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Joseph Fowler and his outstanding staff are dedicated to providing the most effective, clinically superior physical therapy humanly possible. They make it easy to get back in the game by accepting most insurances, including Medicare. They specialize in total joint replacement rehab and orthopedic conditions. They'll help get your range of motion, flexibility, and your strength back. They even assist in dizziness and balance disorders. Get yourself back in the game at Benchmark Physical Therapy, 4654 Nashville Highway.
And welcome back as we continue on with our TC Sports 1 pregame show. And Ricky, I want to talk a little bit about a big region matchup tonight. It's for the region lead at this point. Mount Pleasant traveling to Richland, and the Raiders have really surprised. They have been that team that has been the dark horse that's kind of come to the forefront here, and they've got a big chance at home to take a stranglehold on the region lead. Yeah, I can't pick that one. Richland with the home field advantage, but Mount Pleasant undefeated as well, so that should be a great game. Wish they'd played that tomorrow night where we could maybe have gone down and watched that one. But anyway, good luck to both teams, and may the best team win, but I can't pick that one. Now, think about this, Ricky. We talked about it touched on it briefly earlier. Loretta beat Summertown 35-0 last night. With that, Loretta now with 2 region wins. If you are the Rockets and you lose tonight, you only got 2 region games left. If Loretta loses out, they would hold the tiebreaker over you and it depends on what you do in those last two and what the other teams do.
Yeah.
It's a muddy playoff future. You need to win here tonight.
It is all muddy, and everybody each week brings on something new. So that's why you play the games. You play them one at a time, but it's muddy. Like you said, the water's muddy right now.
It's a crazy playoff scenario because there are scenarios where the Rockets win the region. If you win the rest of your region games, you're the region champs. If you lose the rest of your region games, you don't make the playoffs.
Yeah, and that's something we hadn't not accustomed to.
No, not accustomed to at all.
No,
And,
I don't know how long it's been since we hadn't been to.
You know what? I don't even want to look that up, to be honest with you. It's been a while.
I don't know.
I'm scared. I don't even want to look that one up.
I think we've made it every year we played on this field here. I'm pretty sure of that. I hope we have. Since I went out there and said it now.
We may put our crack research department on this one while we take our next break and kind of find that one out for you. But, the other thing you think about, and this is long term, of course, next year we're going to have a new set of teams roll around. You're going to have the 2-year contracts again and, see who we play for the next couple of years. But also in the back of your mind, you got those enrollment numbers and just exactly what your regions are going to look like. So right now, it does appear that as our region stands now, the old cutoff for AA was 375 to 541 students. Guess how many students Cascade has?
538.
541. If it's the old cutoff, they're still right here on the line and stay. The Rockets close, but at 530. So they're under by just a little bit. Loretta safely in as they have, I think, 470 something, I believe, as I looked. Richland with an enrollment that could go back to single A. I think they were just under the 374 cutoff. I want to say they were like 360, 370 at the numbers I looked at this morning. So they could move down. You have Fayetteville with their numbers that could move up. It looks like they were going to be over 375. So you could have a flip-flop there in the next region. You could have Fayetteville trading out for Richland. Mount Pleasant safely in those numbers, as is Summertown. So it looks like if things stayed the same, this region is pretty much going to look the same except for the possibility of Richland. You could have Fayetteville City moving in. You could have Richland moving down. You could just have Fayetteville City moving in. Still a few things to be determined on that, but for the Rockets, it looks like as of now, and that's the one thing as a Rocket fan you always have in the back of your mind with the growth going on here in Chapel Hill, when do they outgrow AA?
Yeah, as soon as these homes get built that are being built, I mean, they're pretty close, and they're going up more and more every day. It's just got to bring some more kids in these schools here. And what do you do about building a new school to put all the students in? Do you bring in some of those, what you call it, those portable buildings? And I don't like those things, but you may have to have those because you can't get a school built in a year or 18 months.
Just so many things that you're considering. And I think, too, Ricky, we all know that have been here for a while and grew up here. Hey, this place is nothing like it was. It continues to grow. You hope it doesn't become the next Spring Hill. I think that's what everybody has in mind. And, of course, me and you are old enough. We remember when Spring Hill was a solid single-A enrollment. And of course, now they have gone up to 4A with Lincoln County, 5A now with Lincoln County and Summit, those guys. And so, you know, who would have thought that years ago?
Yeah, and pretty good facilities over there. I remember playing on that Spring Hill field where you stepped in a mole hole. You had to tape your ankles, like double tape them, or you'd be in a gopher hole for sure.
Oh, there are so many stories about fields back in the day. You know, at Spring Hill, you had the fence around the end zone, and it was almost a solid drop-off from back there. If you happen to go through the fence, you may be tumbling for a pretty good ways down. It was probably a 15-foot drop off the back of that thing.
Yeah, and back in those days, that's when kids hit each other. They kind of tackle around the shoulder pads nowadays. You made some good solid hits back in the day, back in the 60s, 70s.
Yeah, I tell you, things have changed, of course. We've gotten a little older, but we still remember those days fondly. And, of course, things, the more they change, the more they stay the same. You still get to see some of those traditional rivalries like we have tonight. Cascade rolling into town to take on the Rockets here this evening. As we inch closer to kickoff, we'll take another commercial break. We'll be back with more here on TC Sports 1.
Oh, no. what I would do without you to show me the way and the truth. I don't know what I would do if I didn't have you. If I didn't have you.
Your local agents, Scott Bond and Troy Cashin. Are you moving to the area and need a place to store your possessions? Are you trying to declutter your existing space or needing a place to park your boat, RV, truck, trailer, or camper? There's a simple solution. It's Highway 99 Storage. Conveniently located off Highway 99 and James King Road, it's a lighted, secure, and fenced-in area to keep your valuables safe. New units available with climate control. Call 364-5678 to rent. That's Highway 99 Storage.
And welcome back. As let's take a look at our respective coaching staffs. Of course, for the Rockets, they are coached by Eli Stevenson. Coach Stevenson, 36-19 in his tenure here in Chapel Hill. He is assisted by Ryan Bridges, Kyle Stacy, Jacob Doherty, Jason Hill, Tony Johnson. By the way, congratulations to Coach Johnson. That middle school game last night was outstanding. They win the Duck River Valley Conference Championship second year in a row, undefeated fashion as they roll up Fayetteville City 40-16 last night, scored the last 32 of the game.
Had to come from behind, got their ship righted in the second half, made those great adjustments. Coach Tony, wonderful job. Congratulations, old buddy. Good job last night. DRVC champs.
Also his assistant here in the high school level, Mr. Zach Russell, former Rocket player, and also assisted by Chad Harden, longtime kicking coach, Mr. Larry Rojo Chapman, and your athletic trainer is Leah Williams. Your support staff, Lou Colton, Colton Blue, Julie Williams, Becca Clark, Bella Hosford, Miranda Stout, Charlie Stoddard, and Elam Santa Cruz are your managers and support staff for the Rockets. Meanwhile, for the champions, they are coached by Jake Tyre. He is assisted by Chris Arnold, Ethan Calvert, Andy Guile, Sanders Lovern, Trey Stewart, and Glenn Tidwell. Both teams coming in 3-3 overall. Rockets 1-1 in region play. Cascade 0-2.
Yeah, again, the playoff implications are huge in this one, and things could go south for the Rockets. But as you mentioned, things could go north, and still could win the region. What an outstanding something to play for. What an outstanding opportunity to get started off the right foot here tonight against Cascade.
We'll take a break. We've got our world traveler back as we'll slide Mr. Noble Mays in on the mic as we return after this commercial break.
You can't have it all. At Brooks Grocery, they've got farm fresh fruits and vegetables, a deli with a selection of freshly prepared favorites, Brooks specialties like Ava's pimento cheese and Adam's chicken salad, freshly made pies, cakes, and desserts, and who could possibly forget the best meat department you'll find anywhere. Great selection, online ordering, and friendly customer service. Brooks Grocery, the place you'll find your next favorite food.
Chapel Hill Family Dentistry has been serving the oral care needs of Chapel Hill and the surrounding area since 2006. They're a general and cosmetic dental practice dedicated to improving your smile and the overall oral health of you and your entire family. Their goal is to provide superior quality health care in a comfortable environment. Call and schedule your appointment today at 364-4557. That's Dr. William Bell and the Chapel Hill Dentistry staff, proud supporters of the Forrest Rockets.
And welcome back as we're going to slide Mr. Noble Mays into the chair. Noble has made the trip back from East Tennessee, and we are so happy to have you back and aboard, Noble.
T-Roy, I am excited to be back, sir. I have seen parts of Tennessee that I've never been to before, and places I may mispronounce them, Segornsville, Rogersville, a whole lot of other places that I've had the luxury of going through. So I've seen parts of Tennessee, and I can probably say I've been well-traveled over this state.
Hey, very happy to have you back with all your travels as well. So we get set for what will be a key region matchup here tonight between the Cascade champions and the Forrest Rockets. First of all, we'll have our invocation and the playing of our national anthem.
Let us pray. Today we place ourselves in your loving hands, Lord. We praise your name, we lift you high, every move, each throw we make, and with the celebration of every point we score. Please bless our team with passion for this wonderful sport, with unity of heart and mind, and with a vision to try our hardest. May we be focused on carrying the legacy of your great love in our lives as we play tonight. We pray that you put your hands upon us and those fighting breast cancer, and their loved ones as well. Lord, please keep us safe, protected, and healthy. In the Lord's name we pray. Amen.
Hey, there's my girl. Who's that?
Life can be uncomfortable. Your home doesn't have to be. Ream Heating Equipment was designed to bring affordable comfort to any home. So no matter your budget, we can help you feel comfortable, even when you can't be comfortable.
Oh, come on! Yes, let's go!
When it's time for a tune-up or a new HVAC system, contact the trusted pros at Clint's Air Care for expert service and installation.
And welcome back as we get set for Cascade and Forrest. Always a great matchup and beautiful football evening here. Picturesque setting here in Chapel Hill. Great crowd on hand, looking for a tremendous game tonight, Noble.
Yes, indeed. The crowd is still filling in, T. Roy, but as you said, this atmosphere has a slight little breeze. Fall has come, excellent football weather. Folks got a little light jacket on, but they look like they in for the long haul for the whole evening.
We're going to give you you've missed it, Nova. We came last night for the middle school matchup, and with that, we tried out our second camera last night. So we're going to have both shots for you tonight. If you see the large logo and you're wondering, why is the logo so big over in the corner? As long as it doesn't interfere with being able to bring you the action, we're going to leave that there because there is a little scoreboard on the huddle cam that we're using that is on the shot that we don't necessarily need. So we're going to take that away, take that distraction away a little bit, put our banner up there and leave your scoreboard there at the bottom. But also we're going to have the close-ups, and we got some really good close-ups last night with the middle school action that we're hoping allows you to get a little bit more intimate shot of the game tonight.
T-Roy, you got me excited. I'm certainly, I know anyone else who was not able to tune in last night is looking forward to it. And I guess in radio and television, they call that a tease you just put together, right?
I guess so. Yeah, I didn't think about that. Maybe that was the best thing. I wasn't thinking about it while I did it. But, hey, I gotta give a shout-out to Peter and Gabe. Those two young men have, for us to be able to do what we're doing, they have really taken to what we have asked them to do and have done it very, very well. So we're giving them a little bit more every week. We're going to have the replay back for you in a week or two. And then we're going to start some new things that you haven't seen before when we get to the playoffs. So just very appreciative of the way they have stepped up, and they have really performed well. I can't say enough good things about them.
Fine young men, and I bet Peter and Gabe, T-Roy, they probably are too modest to say it, but they probably think you moving them along rather slowly. They probably thinking,
yes.
they probably thinking, when is he going to bring the hard stuff?
I know, and that's just the thing. I mean, you think about trying to figure out how all this fit together over the course of the summer, putting commercials together, all that stuff. Hey, I sit down with Peter the first time, show him a few things that we want to do, and he's like, all right, I got this. Let's move on to something else. So, it's really amazing how they pick up things so quickly.
Yes, indeed. Peter is with this technology the same way a fellow, I guess, on his way to Ivy League school would do a 36 on the ACT, I guess.
You're right.
Just bring it on.
You're right. The great thing about this is hopefully we've still got them for 3 more years after this. So for that, we will definitely go ahead and say thank you for them just doing a great job. And we, of course, look forward to tonight. Once again, we want to tell everybody, please support our sponsors. They have been the lifeblood of keeping us on the air, allowing us to bring you these things, and allowing us to really, this hadn't been a job at all for us. We enjoy what we do. It's a labor of love every week, and just appreciate Nobles. And he's having to drive a long way just to get here, and appreciate his willingness to come and help us.
T-Roy, you got all the components that are important to me. You got young folks, student athletes, and you got football. So I'm glad to be here. I'm glad to have the invitation that you have given me, and certainly appreciate all the love and affection that I've seen from this community. So I'm glad to be here, T-Roy. Let's go Rockets.
Let's go Rockets. We are awaiting the teams to make their way onto the field here as sun is setting. We've got the, and probably not a good development here. It looks like we have a life flight helicopter that's going to be landing here, so that's not a good sign. With that being said, while we got the break, let's take another break.
Ball. In helicopter fashion from Air Evac Life Team out of Lewisburg.
Not what we thought, Noble, in a good way. They're delivering the game ball.
All right.
And you see that thing, you automatically think the worst, but for tonight, it's actually a good thing.
Well, I didn't know what it could be pre-game. I didn't know what it could be before the game actually started. So
I thought maybe there was a bad accident that we weren't aware of, and they had to land here on the field, a good place to come down. But hey, it's much better to see them in this fashion than the other for sure.
Football field, class of 2007.
Wow.
4-year lineman linebacker for the Forrest Rockets, number 62, Daniel Schonberger.
Pretty nice touch.
Thank
Just
you,
when you
Danny
think
boy.
you've seen it all, Noble, you get something else.
My man, that is how you do it. That's community love for you right there.
Most definitely. And class of 2007, Daniel Schoenberger.
That is excellence. To be able to land on the football field in which you played on, T-Roy, get out in your uniform, have the home crowd here, and deliver the game ball.
That's pretty cool.
Hey, that goes down. I don't know if folks have a top 5 or top 10, but that goes down somewhere special in your days you remember in your life.
You know, I thought years ago, Noble, I'm not sure how many, but there was a playoff game when we were covering Marshall County football that it had rained, and I don't know if you remember, they brought the helicopter in to dry the field.
No, my recollection is not as great as yours, T-Roy. I won't ever claim to be, but I don't recall that at all.
I was like, okay, that's coming on. I immediately think the worst. And being in the insurance side, you automatically see that and you think the worst, but much happier to see it under those circumstances. A pretty cool touch here tonight as we get set for the champions and the Rockets. Let's take another break as the coin toss upcoming.
Funeral home and cremation services had its beginning in 1939 when Thomas H. Lawrence established the business. Lawrence Funeral Home has always strived to provide compassionate, dignified, and professional service to every family it serves, regardless of their circumstances. Lawrence Funeral Home pledges to the families of Marshall and surrounding counties to continue providing excellence in funeral service. In your time of need, our family is there for your family. Lawrence Funeral Home and Cremation Service.
Stop in and visit Mack Equipment, your largest Exmark and Cub Cadet dealer in the state of Tennessee. Locally owned and operated in the heart of Chapel Hill at 109 North Horton Parkway, next to Southern Roots Hair Salon. Mack Equipment offers parts, sales, service, and rental. Their factory-certified technicians also service multiple brands of outdoor power equipment, making this a perfect stop for your future equipment repairs. Don't forget to visit our 2 other locations in Murfreesboro and Lewisburg. That's Mack Equipment.
And welcome back as we get set for your coin toss here in Chapel Hill at the Rock. Team captains tonight for the Rockets, it's the Manimal. 61, Riley Durbin, and 76, Jordan Bishop. Rockets decked out in the blue unis tonight, blue football pants, blue football jerseys with the white helmets and white numerals. Cascade, meanwhile, in the white pants, white jerseys, orange numerals, and they will have the black football helmets on tonight, as we'll see champion captains here in just a second.
Captains tonight for the Cascade champions, number 4, Jake Bates. Number 5, Zamarion
as we've
Dixon.
talked about,
number
such
9, Blake Olive. And number 15,
game tonight.
Connor
You win,
Huey.
you can pretty much punch your playoff
Captains
ticket. You
tonight
lose,
for
you
your
got a lot of
Rockets,
work
number
to do.
76,
Understood,
Jordan
and I know
Bishop.
you probably covered quite a bit of that.
And number
so
61,
it'll
Riley
be an
Durbin.
opportunity to stay within that top 4, right?
Yes, yeah. It makes you feel a whole lot better about yourself. And like I say, you pretty much punch your ticket if you win here tonight. But you lose, especially if you're the Rockets. You got to win the last 2 pretty much to get in. So that's going to be an uphill struggle, one that they could accomplish, but one that they don't want to have to accomplish.
Much like anything else, T-Roy, not only do you take them one at a time, you take the one that's right in front of you. So this is the one to focus on.
As we said, it's a crazy scenario. You win tonight, you win your last 2 region games, you're region champs. You lose tonight, then you got a lot of work to do just to get into the playoffs.
Again, another life lesson, T-Roy. You have control of your own destiny, right? You get some say-so in how things play out.
And that's the thing. This team still controls its own destiny. You come in at 3-3, not where you want to be, but you still have your fate in your own hands, and that's all you can ask for.
That's all anyone can ask for, T-Roy. I don't care what the scenario is, the situation. If you control your own fate, you simply just look at yourself in the mirror when it's all said and done.
And we're taking a look at the Cascade champions. Their captains tonight for Jake Bates. Number 5 is Zamarion Dixon. Of course, Dixon will be one of the names you'll hear a lot. Blake Olive, number 9. And let's see, also number 15, Connor Huey, who will have his name called an awful lot tonight running the football for the champions. We'll take a peek at the coin toss and oval, and you got to feel like the Rockets win if they're going to want the football as they've taken that mantle of, hey, we get it. We're going to try to see if we can't dominate that first possession and maybe create a little momentum.
I'm all for that, T-Roy. Strike first, strike early, strike often.
After a nice little celebration, more or less we'll call it, before the game, having the game ball flown in by Life Flight or Air Evac, excuse me. The coin toss taking place now, and let's see.
It's a nice atmosphere, T-Roy. I'm looking at the student body. I'm listening to the music in the background. This is a nice atmosphere for football.
Haven't got an indication as of yet. Let's see. Looks like the Rockets going to win the toss. And as we said, they're going to take the football.
At the toss, the Rockets
Let's
will
take
receive.
a break. Let's give our sponsor a
Cascade will
rundown
receive the second half
before
kickoff.
we get set here for tonight's action. Let's thank all of our fine sponsors here as we go to break, and then we'll be back with your kickoff.
This broadcast on TC Sports 1 brought to you by Advanced Eye Care Clinic, home of the real Dr. J, Dr. Jeffrey Jordan. By Amigos Mexican Grill, authentic Mexican cuisine. By Apex Bank, a top performer amongst Tennessee community banks. By Benchmark Physical Therapy, where they'll get you back in the game. By Brooks Grocery, where you'll find your next favorite food. Also brought to you by Dr. William Bell at Chapel Hill Family Dentistry. By Clint's Air Care, your local ring dealer. By Farm Bureau Insurance, auto, life, health, and homeowners. By First Commerce Bank, your first choice for hometown banking. We're brought to you by Highway 99 Storage, now with climate control units. By J&J Automotive, your one-stop auto shop. By Lawrence Funeral Home and Cremation Services, serving since 1939. By Lewisburg Animal Hospital, your other family doctor. By Mac Equipment, your local Cub and Exmark dealer. And by the town of Chapel Hill, moving forward with strong tradition.
I would be remiss if I did not mention a pink out game here tonight, supporting breast cancer awareness. Of course, all of us at some point or another have probably been touched by that disease, and nice gesture tonight, October, the whole month of October, Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
Yes, indeed, T-Roy, and right around the corner is October, but I got to be honest with you, T-Roy, when you say pretty much everyone listening in some form, some fashion has been touched, you don't just wait on October before that conversation starts.
But nice to see the student body decked out in a lot of pink tonight, and we are finally about ready to get this one underway. We have been awaiting this one. This one always a great rivalry game. You talk about old-fashioned slobber knocker. This is probably going to be it. These two teams, they get after one another. They want to win this game desperately. It is a battle. It will be bragging rights. Rockets have won 10 of the last 12 as we get set to get this one underway. 3-3 Cascade, 3-3 Rockets here on TC Sports 1. Football is in the air, short kick, and the Rockets are going to watch it almost be recovered by the champions on the sideline. That thing, I think one of the return men was waiting for it to go out of bounds. Meanwhile, Cascade coming hard. They almost were able to pick that thing up, Noble.
Ball did not cooperate, T-Roy. They were trying to play heads-up football, the Rockets, hoping that the ball would go out of bounds, but the ball, again, did not cooperate, and Cascade tried their best to try to get on that.
Yeah, Rockets, as it will go, take over from their own 22-yard line, directed by the freshman Ryan Hill, who has been spectacular this year. Hill, 28 of 50 through the air as they go to the ground on the opening play, pounding it off that left side, and a good gain on first down. That's where you want those sticks, second and short.
Number 6,
see, Roy, one of your captains there, Durbin, number 61, along with 77, Tankersley. They provided blocks. One kicked out, one kicked in, and Liam did exactly what he needed to do. Liam Bell, he split the two.
Bell for 6 on first down, 2nd and 4. Bell coming in with 3 touchdowns on the season, gets to carry off the left side again. He'll pick up his first down as he just kind of picks his way around the corner. Got a couple of pretty good blocks over there, and the Rockets will move the chains.
T-Roy, I think it was that time, one more time, Durbin, and I think also seen number 71. That would be Allen.
Gravy.
Yeah, that'd be Gravy. And if I'm not mistaken, I think I seen Carson Yates, number 24, also providing a block. If it's any indication, look like Coach Eli Stevenson and the crew plan on staying left side, strong side tonight.
Cascade defensively, and speaking with Coach Stevenson during the week, he said, they have switched around a lot defensively, just trying to find something really that works and they're comfortable in. So he said they're going to throw a lot at us tonight. Pass by Hill, just over the head of the intended target, who was Bell. Falls incomplete. 2nd down now for the Rockets and Noble. It makes it a little easier when you can have the success in the running game to be able to have the confidence to throw on first down.
Yes, indeed, T-Roy. And here's what has to happen. That those routes got to be a little more crisp. I seen 2 running in the flat. They were only 5 yards apart, and then there was one a little deeper, but we got to try to get a little distance between us so one player can be open.
Man in motion left to right for the Rockets. One setback is Bale. Man in motion, Swift gets it. Tries to weave his way between a couple of would-be tacklers and is hit down at the line of scrimmage. Nothing doing there for Tayton, who comes in having an excellent season individually. 90 carries, 671 yards, averaging 7.5 yards per carry, and just over 110 yards per game with 3 touchdowns.
Yes, indeed, T-Roy. 6 games, over 600 yards. Even I could do that math, T-Roy, and you having a fine season if you can put up a century mark average. Left side that time looked like Cascade got the message as well.
3rd and long now, 3rd and 10 for the Rockets. Cascade creeping close to the line of scrimmages. Hill will roll right. Looking to get outside. He'll tuck it, cut it back inside, eludes the first tackler, but is taken down at about the 35. One of the captains for Cascade, number 4, getting there in on the stop. That's Jake Bates. And it'll bring up 4th down, and the champions successfully hold the Rockets here on their first drive. And Noble, last week we saw against Marion County, you talk about being able to adjust. Marion, the Rockets ran it right down their throat a couple of times in a row, and Coach Stevenson talked about the cat and mouse back and forth, how Marion adjusted, made them do a couple of things. Cascade now stops them on the first time. Let's see what the Rockets do the second time out. G-Squares punt high in the air, taken at the 35, center of the field 40. Durbin down there and hits down the returner after an 8-yard gain. The Champions will have excellent starting field position here with 9:25 left here in the opening quarter. Let's keep it here as the Champion offense comes onto the field. And Noble, they will be directed by a dynamic leader in Zamarion Dixon. Dixon, of course, a name that you are very well familiar with. He's been around the block a few times for the Champions. Dual threat quarterback, and they've got to contain him.
Yes, indeed. Hats off to Eli Bell that time, T-Roy. He forced the returner to turn back inside where he had help. Excellent job in coverage, even though he didn't make the tackle.
Dixon out of the gun. Fake to Huey. He'll set, fire, pass incomplete. Swift right there with the intended target. That was number 10, Chance Brown, the senior. It'll bring up second down and 10.
Not very accurate pass that time, T-Roy, and if we can have a lot of success on defense in the secondary, maybe we can try to get a Cascade to be one-dimensional, even though you talk about the dual threat of the quarterback was not very accurate that time. Dixon was not.
They'll move everyone around in the formation, end up wing left. They'll run that way. Huey with the football trying to get outside 45. He will elude the first tackler and fall forward for about 2-3 more yards before Bryce Tankersley able to wrap him up with help from Levi Van Patten. Gain will be about 4. It will still be third down and long, 3rd and 6.
Caden Swift got into a little foot race with him that time, and he forced him wide, and then he got a little help. But Caden Swift made the initial contact that time, and that's all we can ask for. Continue to support each other, stretch it wide, wait on some blue jerseys to come up and assist.
3 short side left. Quick throw over here on the sideline. Pass caught, running right down the sideline and picking up the first down is Chance Brown. And that time, Noble, they used those 3 receivers. Just a quick flip over here to Brown. Got 2 blockers out in front of him. He picks up his first down.
Tell you what, Brown did excellent. The DB for the Rockets, he went inside, he got blocked, and Brown was able to take advantage of the boundary out here and went straight down the sideline for the first down.
Now watch the setup here as they got 3 to the right again. Quick throw out of the backfield. Huey with the reception. Tried to get outside. Rockets got there, turned him back inside, but he's still able to pick up 3-4 yards before being taken down there at the 35, and the Champions on the move.
You said it well, T-Roy. Excellent individual effort that time by Connor Huey. All I could see was blue jerseys on white jerseys, and the blue jerseys was throwing off the white jerseys, but Connor Huey, some kind of way, swiveled his way through there and got positive yards out of it.
Again, quickly out of the hand of Dixon as they pick up 4. And
look like they may pick up 5.
Say 5 here the wrong way. Actually, Cascade saying it's on the Rockets.
It is.
It is.
Yes, indeed. Rockets got a little jump that time, T-Roy.
I thought maybe they were reacting. I thought I saw someone flinch over on the right side of the Cascade line, but
Cascade came in motion, and as a result of that, we got a little jumpy on that side, T-Roy. 5 yards free.
So second down and less than 2, so RPO here for Dixon. Give again, Huey, and he's still going to be looking at third down here, but a little more than 2 as the Rockets get in quickly into the backfield there. I believe that was Reggie Person getting in there.
He was
in the backfield.
But it was 61, your captain.
Pearson, I'm sorry, I said Person.
Yes, indeed. Pearson back there. It was your captain back there initially, number 61, Durbin, T-Roy, in the backfield initially. But I think it was Reggie Pearson, number 86, who came in and also helped. Great news, T-Roy. I see about 2 blue jerseys, maybe 3 on most of the tackles.
Now watch the motion for Cascade here. They're going to line up, shift around, see if the Rockets can adjust on 3rd and 5. Dixon loads it up, fires incomplete, had the first down. Pretty well thrown football there, right into the hands of Hayden Dow, who couldn't hang on. It's 4th down.
T-Roy, I think he was going to have to work a little bit if he was able to catch that ball to try to get the first down. But he was open. He ran a nice route. He just he didn't catch the ball in and pull the ball in. He just kind of hard hands, kind of slapped the ball down that time. But I'll tell you what I also liked. He had 2 blue jerseys right around him.
I think he was ready to turn up field too, Noble. 4th down, without the field goal kicker, they're going to go for it here, and Dixon's going to pick up a first down and more. 15-10, 5 touchdown. They talked about it all week long, being able to stop Dixon, and there for the first time, Noble, we see Dixon come down the line, turn it upfield, and he goes untouched into the end zone from 34 yards out, and the champions are on top.
Every white jersey for Cascade was on a blue jersey. They sealed off the inside, T-Roy. Linebackers and the linemen were all sealed on the inside. Big gaping hole that time for Dixon, and it was just Katie bar the door.
And on for the point after try, Isaac Chappa. Out of the hold of Taylor Dow. Had trouble with the snap and the set. But Chappa's kick is good. He's able to adjust, and the champions take the early lead here, 7-0.
Cascade 7.
Amigos Mexican Grill is the place you'll find all your authentic favorites, from burritos to enchiladas to sizzling fajitas, all served fast and fresh. Dine in, order online, or call in your order at 364-2222. Also, Amigos has catering services available for your next big occasion as well. Good food, good times at Amigos Mexican Grill, 216 South Horton Parkway. Visit their other locations in Lewisburg and Spring Hill. Amigos, proud supporters of the Rockets.
Lewisburg Animal Hospital serves the veterinary needs of Marshall County. They've grown to a 4-doctor practice specializing in small animal medicine. They offer advanced medicine, surgery, and nursing care in a personal and relaxed environment with the utmost compassion for their patients. For your pet's grooming and boarding needs, Maggie Rue Pet Retreat and Grooming Salon is located adjacent to the hospital. Call 931-359-5945 to schedule an appointment for your pet.
Rockets on the return as Chappa gets it downfield, and good coverage by the champion special teams. Rockets will begin this series from their 28-yard line as Liam Bell on the return.
Two positive, T-Roy, and I know you always looking for the positives. The Rockets, 2 pass attempts in their first possession, which means not going to be one-dimensional. So we need that balance. The other part on defense, I know you said Dixon is a dual threat. I didn't see him have a lot of success passing the ball. We're going to have to shut the run down.
Now the Rockets looking to even the score here as they get the football back, and great penetration by Cascade getting into the backfield. And that play really never had a chance as Swift stopped at the line of scrimmage, maybe lost a yard.
Still going left side, T-Roy, and obviously there's something about the Rockets that they like that left side, which means in film study they seen Cascade, and maybe Cascade is weak on that side. But here's the thing, T-Roy, keep going left, come a little misdirection, come back this way. Maybe Swift or Bell or young Bell, one of those three can have success coming back misdirection back this way.
This time they're going to split Swift out in the slot. Throw that way. Swift with the catch, 25 up the sideline, 30, and he'll be bumped out of bounds as he gets close to the 35-yard line. But good pursuit. 3, Jacob Cagle, 9, Blake Olive over there.
You've been around me a long time. Tell me why I'm excited about that play I just seen.
You got outside. You're opening up the center of that field.
You put the ball in the hand of your playmaker out in space, and you stretching the defense. You saying you're not going to put everybody in the box.
Yeah.
I love everything about that play, Coach.
One receiver, short side right is Swift in motion right to left here. 3rd down as they go back to Bell. Bell inside now outside, looking for the corner, trying to get a block, but excellent individual effort. Bell looked like if he could have eluded that last tackler, and I believe, was that Dixon? The 2 or 5, Byford, I believe, 2 instead of 5, Dixon. Cascade, I'm going to apologize. The numbers are pretty difficult to read over on that far sideline.
It looked like there was an opportunity over there on the left side, T-Roy, and just did not happen for us. But I think that was the left side looked like it loosened up. And I'm going to give credit to that left side loosening up on that play to the pass play prior to that.
Not the results you wanted as you have to kick it away, but the game plan early is Grissom. Low snap. He gets it out of there. It's going to hit, check up, and roll back and finally be down by Tankersley at the Cascade 41. with 4:50 left here in the first quarter of play. And right now, Rockets got to try to take the momentum away from the champions. Need a big play here.
They do, T-Roy. Remember that second point I made to you about the positives. Now, we didn't have a lot of success on offense that time, but we still passing the ball, right?
Yes.
Now, 2, now we got to make Cascade one-dimensional. The pass has not been successful, have not been effective. Let's shut the run down.
Dixon is, again, they will shift around here. Works from the gun with Huey to his right. Slot left, quarterback keeper right up the middle. Dixon breaks it free at the 40, and Swift able to stop him as he crosses the midfield stripe, very close to a first down. But, Noble, had he not been able to bring Dixon down, he gets to the sideline, it's over.
If he gets to the sideline, it's favorable for Dixon, T-Roy. Here's the thing. That ball fake that he had in the middle, option to keep the ball, I'm going to assume Dixon is going to keep the ball 90% of the time.
Yeah, he's very good with it in his hands as they go back to Huey off that right side. Doesn't get a lot, but gets enough for his first down as he's into Rocket territory at about the 48-yard line before being taken down there by Butt, moving the sticks again.
Sticks are moving, T-Roy, and here's the thing. They moving them on the run game. And give Cascade credit. They putting out 2 and 3 wide receivers and making sure that we respect them. Again, T-Roy, look at all those wide receivers.
3 to the right is, again, they'll quickly load it up, throw it that way. Ball tipped into the air. And I believe a Cascade receiver came out with that thing, Noble.
They still fortunate also they came up with that, T-Roy. But, again, that ball was thrown high, T-Roy.
Yeah.
I don't want to keep harping on it. At this particular moment, I cannot have a lot of respect for the passing game.
The one thing I will say is they get it out of his hands quickly. They want to try to get it out in space and get their athletes with it as they do here. Swing it out, down the sideline again. Pickup is about 4. They'll still be shy of their first down, but much more manageable fourth here as they'll be about 4th and we'll say 1 or 2 yards here.
We've been seeing this in the West Coast a long time, T-Roy. High percentage throws. He's throwing the ball, a little soft pass, and he's putting his athletes out in space, T-Roy. Cornerbacks and linebackers got to get off their blocks and come up and make the tackle, T-Roy.
I said 4th. It's just 3rd down. 3rd down and 1. Dixon. Handoff in the backfield. Good job on penetration that time by the Rockets. No place to go for the ball carrier Lovern. I believe Swihart was there for the Rockets. He got through and blew that one up. Got plenty of help, and now it's going to be 4th down and 5.
Plenty of blue jerseys, T-Roy. That has changed the trajectory of this drive right here, T-Roy. That changed up everything from 3rd down to 1 to this. Now, here's the thing. Now you're thinking – yes, indeed. There you go. Now you're thinking, now we may have to respect the pass and opportunity this time. Look for the pass this time, but Dixon has the option to run the ball as well.
Look at the left side of the field, though. There's a lot of running room there. He's going to go back right, and he's going to run into the manimal. That was not the correct decision on Dixon's part. It was for the Rockets, as you don't want to run at Driley Durbin.
And here's the thing, T-Roy. You're talking about a high school player. Dixon knows his ability, his gifted ability, and he is not opting to give the ball to anybody else. Like I said, 90% of the time, Dixon's going to keep the ball. I'm playing Dixon.
I was a little scared, Noah, because I saw them empty this side of the field. We saw his speed trying to get to the corner. I thought it was just going to be a speed rush to the sideline over here with Dixon trying to turn the corner and do it himself. He went to the short side of the field, which was great for the Rockets.
He opted to do that. And here's the thing, T-Roy, when you have gifts like that, you think you can get away with things like that.
Rockets take over 1st and 10 from their 43. Back to the ground game with Swift. Across the midfield stripe into Cascade territory. And picking up a first down is Tatum as they go off that left side and pick up a first down.
Say it again for me, T-Roy. Where'd they go?
Left side.
Left side. And they sealed off everything that time, allowed Swift to use that swiftness of his and get around the corner. Coach Eli Stevenson had a game plan coming in. He's sticking with it.
Yeah, and no need to get upset early on. No need to go against what you do. Plenty of time left in this one for sure. We're under 2 left here in the first quarter. As the Rockets with it. Back to the ground game. Swift eludes a tackler but drops the football in the process. And the champions are over there. Were they able to pick it up?
They got it, T-Roy. And you see they bringing their offense back on the field.
Oh, man, I thought Swift was going to be able to get back to it, but I saw the Cascade champions celebrating over on that sideline and knew that wasn't good. So a turnover for the Rockets, and the champs right back in business with $1:30 left here in the first quarter.
That exchange was not clean, T-Roy. Ball was on his hip for a long time, and he was unable to grab control of it that time and had a white jersey back there to also deflect everything he was trying to do.
Dixon straight back to throw. Zips that one in there low, and the pass is caught. Good job. Groenville was right there on top of the receiver, but it was low where his receiver could get it. Hayden Dowell. And a gain for the champs of 6 on first down, 2nd down and 4. And Noble, if you can do that out of the passing game, then you make Dixon very, very threatening.
He becomes very dangerous, but, hey, he's got to do that several more times to beat me.
He'll throw the slant here. Pass caught.
He dropped it,
Dropped him out. The juggle there is a good hit. Good close by Tankersley. And juggles it.
What?
Byford. Oh, they're going to give him the catch.
No, sir. No, sir. He had his back to it.
Okay.
He this man on the sideline, he had his back to it, and that's not his call to make. I could see that ball fall to the ground. He was supposed to let somebody else make that call, T-Roy.
Good job by Bryce Tankersley, though. Closed and made the hit. Once again, pass a little high, but catchable, but a nice job of separating the receiver from the football by Tankersley.
Excellent job, Tankersley.
Quick throw, right side this time. Straight up the sideline and picking up another first down. And Noble, you have to think that they have seen something with as many times as they have gone quickly to the sideline. They've got to have seen something on film study that they want to try to exploit here in the first.
Hey, same way I was taking my hat off to Coach Eli Stevenson for staying on the left side. Cascade, obviously, with this little quick pass behind the line of scrimmage, they throwing the ball, and the way he's throwing it forward, it's still a forward pass.
Quick pass over on the left side, caught again. Inside now, outside. Down the sideline, 35, dives forward to about the 30 before being taken out of bounds.
Pass complete to number 10, Chance Brown.
Brown with the reception again. Swift there on the tackle.
Cascade has just decided we're going to get the ball, as you said, T-Roy, out of Dixon's hand quickly, put the ball out in space, and let you be one-on-one.
Yeah, and that's, again, that's what I think you do against this Rocket defense. The passing game, you want to try to spread this group out because running between the tackles, they're pretty good.
I agree with that.
Time for one more play here in the opening quarter. Cascade on the move again is Dixon, this time straight back. He's going to heave it down the right sideline. Got a man back there. Pass is caught for the touchdown. Noble, dink, 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 and down the field.
Yeah, T-Roy. Number 21 that time, T-Roy. Hayden Dowell. Hayden Dowell was somewhere around the 15-yard line. He stuck his right arm up and waited on the ball to come out, and we were kind of looking in a different direction, T-Roy.
They go for 2 here. Quick throw inside. 2-point conversion is good. And the champs with a stellar first quarter. We have reached the end of one. Cascade leads it 15-0.
Eye Care Clinic, Dr. Jeffrey Jordan and his staff offer a wide range of services, including comprehensive eye exams, advanced testing, and eye disease management. Fashion frames from top names like Guess and Kate Spade. They also stay on top of new eye care advances like Vuity and Upneat. And that unique Dr. J touch that always leaves you with a smile until your next visit. Make your appointment at 359-4373. Advanced Eye Care Clinic, 815 East Commerce.
Your one-stop shop to keep your vehicle running smooth is J&J Automotive. From routine maintenance like oil changes to brake repairs, tires and alignment, and exhaust work as well, J&J has got you covered. They work on gas and diesel engines. Call Vince or Matt Jackson at 931-364-5602 or stop by their location at 1791 Highway 99. Keep your vehicle in tip-top shape at J&J Automotive.
You see the Rocket coaching staff taking a little extra time with the Rockets before the kickoff here as they want to make sure that what happened in the first doesn't happen in the second and beyond.
Need a spark, T-Roy. Let the folks at home know who you have back there. You have 3 dangerous returners back there.
You got Mr. Bell, Eli in the center. Let's see, I believe Antonio Marable on the right side at about the 15.
And Liam Bell on the left side looked like T-Roy.
So plenty of speed and elusiveness back there as the kick from Chapel will angle away. Ends up being a good kick as the Rockets fumble it, but they're able to get back on it. And, boy, after what happened the last time, you don't want back-to-back turnovers. And, Noble, this one has kind of the same feel of what we saw in Summertown, just needing something to happen to awaken the Rockets right now.
And I'll say it again, same thing I said in Summertown. Rockets going to need to put up about 4 or 5 touchdowns tonight.
Yeah, Cascade's offense definitely not Summertown's for sure. They are much more potent offensively than Summertown. If you're the Rockets, you can't play around. You're playing with fire right now.
I don't disagree with any of that statement, sir.
They'll begin this drive from their own 29-yard line. This time they'll work from the gun as they go to the ground with Liam Bell, and he had absolutely no chance. Great penetration by Cascade, as when Bell got the football, he had 3 white jerseys right in his grill. Well, also about 3 on first down. And, again, Noble, you just want to make sure that you got them going, and Coach Stevenson right now has seen enough. He's going to take a timeout, try to regroup. We'll do it as well.
Know that with Apex Banking Online, you can access your accounts, pay bills, and send money to friends and family anytime. Our online banking feature gives you the advantage of secure banking right from anywhere. With our mobile app and online services, banking has never been more convenient. We're here to serve you wherever you go. Visit us in Chapel Hill or call 931-246-7105. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Joseph Fowler and his outstanding staff are dedicated to providing the most effective, clinically superior physical therapy humanly possible. They make it easy to get back in the game by accepting most insurances, including Medicare. They specialize in total joint replacement rehab and orthopedic conditions. They'll help get your range of motion, flexibility, and your strength back. They even assist in dizziness and balance disorders. Get yourself back in the game at Benchmark Physical Therapy, 4654 Nashville Highway.
Back to the ground now with Swift. Pickup is minimal there as it'll be third down. And, fellas, if you look, there's probably a little scorched place of grass at about the 30. I think that's where Coach Stevenson was, and probably he's hot enough right now he may have burned a hole in the 30 out there.
If he didn't burn one in that grass, T-Roy, he certainly burned one in those young men.
It was a rather spirited discussion during the timeout. Third down and 8 now for the Rockets.
To say the least.
Just underway here in the second quarter. Rockets trying to right the ship as Cascade has pounced on them early. Heel to throw. Got some time across the middle pass up there. It is batted away. But we're going to have a flag back in the back end. Tayton Swift, the intended target. And Noble had the defensive back that was on Swift not got a hand in there. That was a great play by the cover in front of him.
Yes, indeed. It was the up backer there that time. He was able to get a right paw. But here's the thing, T-Roy. They're going to come back to this. I know. Go ahead, T-Roy. Call the play there.
Yeah, going to be interference. Or is it? No, I wasn't paying attention. It is. Okay.
Yes.
I thought at first he was going to take it and go the other way. I said, what did I miss here? But, yeah.
I know Coach Stacy and them is somewhere watching that last play. They're going to come back. Carson Yates, that time with Swift, they had a little crossing route, T-Roy. Carson Yates was down there waving his arm, so they'll come back to that. I hope they come back to it.
You watch, and you said something about it earlier. They will run that route where they'll send someone short, someone intermediate or long. Hill really likes those. They're going to be back to the ground here. Eli Bell with a good burst. Gets outside, turns the corner, and a good pickup on first down. That's where you want to be, second and short.
And T-Roy, going back to what you were talking about, that short, intermediate, and long pass, they just got to be a little more crisp. We got to have some separation.
Looks like that block on the corner may have been a little bit too good to Spring Bell. Holding on the Rockets will back them up. And This has been the MO, Noble. You get something going, and then you just have something that takes it away. They've got to be able to overcome their mistakes, and this has been uncharacteristic of Rocket teams.
I know you don't have a lot of time, T-Roy. Do you throw on second down and not be predictable right now?
Yeah, yeah. They're going to go with the running game, and Eli Bell had no place to go once again. Great penetration once more. They tried to get him outside, but Bell didn't have any room to run there, as I believe it was 3 Cagle.
The idea, T-Roy, that's that misdirection that I was thinking maybe we would see eventually, because we've been going left side for so long. Maybe try to catch them over on the right side, but you got to take your hat off to Cascade. They came through and it did exactly what you asked them to do. Stay at home on the opposite side. Eventually it'll come your way.
2nd and 24 now for the Rockets. So Noble here, I don't think it's going to be any mystery. You got to put it up twice here.
You do, T-Roy. Let's keep an eye on the routes. Only 2 wide receivers possibly this time.
Bell, they fake to him, roll heel to his left, backpedaling. Now he'll get rid of it. Pass incomplete as he just ran out of time and didn't want to take the sack. Ayers was in the neighborhood, Yates was in the neighborhood at about the 40, but pass incomplete is good coverage by the champions. Hill just kept giving ground, trying to wait for somebody to get open, but just ran out of time.
Had 3 wide receivers. Threw me off. They had 1 off in there, T-Roy, but they had 3 wide receivers that time. Number 38, I never know his name. And also, as you said, Carson Yates in there, and I think Swift may have been the other one that went out, but 38 was the 3rd wide receiver. And Carson Yates did something that the Cascade apparently was ready for, but I was not ready for. I thought Yates might have been the one, could have been open that time, but he was not.
3rd and 24 now, as they'll give straight up the middle, nothing doing. Cascade right now, Noble, you talked about it during the timeout. You look at both sidelines, both fan bases. The band pretty lively over there on the other side. Fans up, players up on the other sideline, and it's kind of like Lawrence Funeral Home over here on the home side right now. Everybody kind of sitting around in stunned disbelief right now.
T-Roy, you caught me off guard with that statement, but they were
that's my dead ball foul.
Yes, indeed. I was ready for the dead ball with that one, but there's a distinct difference in the sidelines. The band is rocking on the other side.
Little pressure. G-Square had to get it away straight up in the air to avoid it getting blocked, and it hooks and comes back on him, and Swift will down it, and Cascade will take over in Rocket territory at the 38 with just under 9 minutes left here in the second quarter. And Noble, this one has just got the complexion of that Summertown game. The Rockets slept walk a little bit through the first quarter and a half. They had the lateral that they picked up, ran it in. That kind of got things going. They've got to have something to snap them out of this lethargy right now.
They got 2 turnovers over in Summertown. Those were gifts.
Mm-hmm.
What you got to understand is we talked about controlling your own fate. They're going to create something on their own out here tonight.
The champions try to out-scissor the Scissor Masters, and they go down the sideline and still on his feet. And once again, Noble, the bugaboo, one more time. Missed tackle after missed tackle. Lovern should have been stopped back at the line of scrimmage. They tried that inside scissor that we are so accustomed to seeing the Rockets do. Looked like it should have been bottled up. He gets outside and takes it down the sideline, and they are just shy of the 10-yard line.
That has to be frustrating for the coaching staff, T-Roy, because you have the same conversation all year about wrapping up and making a tackle.
Give Huey through a hole, across the 10, across the 5, down to about the 4. And once again, Noble, everybody standing around over here is, fellas, let's get a shot of the sideline over here. Take a peek at this Rocket sideline right now. I mean, everybody just kind of over there in stunned silence right now. Is Cascade just having their way with the Rockets right now?
And T-Roy, the way the game started, there was 2, 3, sometimes 4 blue jerseys around the ball carrier, but this here looks like a script we've seen before, so somebody got to give them a spark.
From the 4, Cascade, they're going to need a spark. They're going to need about 2 or 3 sparks now.
Yes, indeed.
Dixon.
Again, Dixon, T-Roy, and he's elusive. He's elusive, and there's no reason why Dixon would not keep the ball inside the 10, T-Roy.
This one will not result in a completed point after because going for 2, they were running players on the field as they snapped the football, so they're going to have to back up 5 here. But Noble, had they snapped it right up the middle, Dixon goes, it would have been another 2-point conversion. So, you know, at worst here, it's going to be 21-0.
He said at worst.
Or at best, I mean. Excuse me, at best.
He said at worst. Yes,
everything's bad right now. I'm thinking worst.
Yeah, everything is bad right now, T-Roy. I don't care about your grammar. Bad, worse, all that extra.
Chapa's going to come on and try the point after now. It'll be a 25-yard attempt. Left footer. Good snap. Good hold. Kick is wide left and no good. Point after try, no good. But with 8:03 left here, second quarter, it is now Cascade 21 and the Rockets nothing.
Don't know what I would do without you to show me the way and the truth. I don't know what I would do if I didn't have you. If I didn't have you.
Your local agents, Scott Bond and Troy Cashin. Are you moving to the area and need a place to store your possessions? Are you trying to declutter your existing space or needing a place to park your boat, RV, truck, trailer, or camper? There's a simple solution. It's Highway 99 Storage. Conveniently located off Highway 99 and James King Road, it's a lighted, secure, and fenced-in area to keep your valuables safe. New units available with climate control. Call 364-5678 to rent. That's Highway 99 Storage.
And welcome back. Noble, you remember the old, video game, the Punch-Out?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we look like Glass Joe right now. We've taken a lot of shots here early. They are wobbly. Can they come back? On the return, here's what they needed. Good return by Eli Bell. The freshman gets it up to the 38 to give them good starting field position, and you're just looking for any kind of spark to get you going right now.
And Eli Bell, I could hear a couple chirps over here on the sideline. The crowd looked like they were ready to explode, so they just looking for something. Eli Bell did exactly what you needed. Positive return, had his head up, good vision, and made one little move and then showed some speed to be able to get up the middle. Great starting field position. You got to take this one to the house, T-Roy.
Yeah, need to score here. Just under 8 left here in the second quarter as the Rockets take over. They'll give it Swift coming outside. Can't find any running room. Cuts it back inside and runs into about 5 white-clad jerseys after a pickup of 2, Noble, and that was on course for about a 2 or 3 yard loss until he cut it back inside.
I tell you what, Cameron Orr, 6'2", 215-pound junior, is the reason why it's a positive gain. Swift did an excellent job of setting up the block and being patient and cutting off the buttocks of Orr, T-Roy.
That's Blakemore that's going to be wide to the right now. 2nd down and 8. Hill will roll. Got some pressure. Eludes a couple of would-be tacklers and then is taken down. It'll be a sack back at the 37. Loss of about 3. As Hill, there were 2 mammoths coming at him, and he's small enough he squeezed between the first couple, but the third one come and got him.
He had no time at all, T-Roy, absolutely none. T-Roy, I know the folks at home going to think I'm crazy for this. I've been asking Coach Eli Stevenson to be balanced, mix it up. He's given Ryan Hill several opportunities tonight. There have not been any routes that's been open, and so it's been a nice balance. So I have no other opinion other than say I appreciate you being balanced, Coach, and giving Ryan Hill an opportunity.
Another opportunity here on 3rd down. Another dose of pass pressure and an incomplete pass. As again, he had nowhere really to go, just lobbed it out of bounds. Swift covered well. He had 2 guys on him.
Point taken, T-Roy. Hills has been given opportunities. No one has been open, T-Roy. Cascade has done an excellent job in the secondary. And when we get to hear from our fine statistician, Mr. Sweeney, we're going to probably hear that Ryan Hill has dropped back almost 10 times in the first half.
Yeah, and take your hat off to the champions right now. They have come in here, and they have taken it to the Rockets.
They have taken it to him, T-Roy, and let's hope that they don't continue to take it to him. Here's an opportunity. We need a defense to step up. Maybe that turnover you've been asking for.
Let's hope. punt out of there. Cohen Grissom on to kick it away. It'll hit as Cascade will not take a chance on touching it down to the 28, and that's a wise decision, Noble, I think. You got everything going for you right now. Don't try to make a hero play. Pick one up and fumble it and give the Rockets a short field. That's what you don't want.
No, you certainly do not want that, T-Roy. And what you're talking about is now Cascade sitting over there just playing smart ball, being wise about the situation and not doing anything to sabotage the success they're having at the moment.
Noble, you got to have a stop here. You cannot let them score again on this possession. They throw back now. Oh, they had that one, and Dixon dropped it. They had the gadget set up beautifully.
T-Roy, you're gonna take offense to this, but I would not have considered showing that play up 21-0. I would not have put that on film.
You know what? I'm gonna be honest with you, Noble. I think right now, I'm not upset at that. I want the dagger. I'm thinking right now, if I score, it's 28-zip, and we're going to the house.
Oh, sir, I'm saving that one for when the game is tight somewhere, T-Roy.
Dixon will load it up, go down the field. He's got a guy back there just overshot him. Oh, my goodness. 2 consecutive plays, and they have dodged 2 huge bullets. Those 2 plays had 6 written all over them.
He ran a straight go route, T-Roy, straight go route. And Dixon just not accurate enough. And you cannot say they didn't put enough air under. It's plenty of air, just not accurate enough, T-Roy.
3rd and 10 now. The only bright spot about this is, Noble, if you get them off the field here, they haven't taken much time off the clock.
And then he bounced that one over there, T-Roy.
Maybe this is what you need, Noble. You got them off the field 3 and out, and you can get it back. You have averted what was sure 28-0.
I'll say it again, T-Roy. I know Dixon had a little success mixed in there with the passing game, but I'm not threatened by his passing attempts. I'm not threatened at all. I'm going to try to stop this run from the rest of the game, T-Roy. If this young man can become accurate, he can beat me and blow me out at home, but I'm stopping the run for the rest of the night.
Timeout will be taken. We'll take it as well as the Rockets trying to regroup down 21-0.
You can't have it all. At Brooks Grocery, they've got farm fresh fruits and vegetables, a deli with a selection of freshly prepared favorites, Brooks specialties like Ava's pimento cheese and Adam's chicken salad, freshly made pies, cakes, and desserts. And who could possibly forget the best meat department you'll find anywhere? Great selection, online ordering, and friendly customer service. Brooks Grocery, the place you'll find your next favorite food.
Chapel Hill Family Dentistry has been serving the oral care needs of Chapel Hill and the surrounding area since 2006. They're a general and cosmetic dental practice dedicated to improving your smile and the overall oral health of you and your entire family. Their goal is to provide superior quality health care in a comfortable environment. Call and schedule your appointment today at 364-4557. That's Dr. William Bell and the Chapel Hill Dentistry staff, proud supporters of the Forrest Rockets.
Quick kick by the champions gives the Rockets good starting field position on this drive. And Noble, I'm just going to go ahead and say it. I need somebody to step up right now and show me something. Show some pride. Get this thing turned around.
Look here. You got Swift. Swift in the slot there, too. He's the second wide receiver over there. Yes, indeed. Flanked out. I like this.
And we've got a stoppage. Did Cascade? Yeah, Cascade saw that. I don't think they like that. They're going to take a timeout as well. Let's keep it here, Noble. Boy, you got just under 6 minutes left here in the second quarter. You're down 21-0. This, I feel like, stop here where you averted what would have been 2 sure touchdowns. Now you got to turn around and make the champions pay for lack of execution. They have made you pay. Now you got to turn around and return the favor and get some momentum heading into halftime. I'm going to be honest with you. This thing goes 21-0 halftime. I don't like our chances in the second half unless somebody is able to get a spark ignited in this group.
I'm going to play off of you, T-Roy. You said you didn't have an issue with Cascade running a trick play.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the spark that Rockets need now, whatever they got, a bag of tricks in their pocket.
Give, and this one just no place to go. Bell gets stood up by Chappa. Got some help from 75, Austin Powell as well. And I'm not used to seeing this kind of penetration, Noble. They are getting great penetration into the backfield.
They are, T-Roy. And that's the reason I hate to say it again. Since they're getting so much penetration in the backfield, we're going to have to probably have some pass support. Maybe one of those running backs will not be able to focus on the run. They're going to have to stay in and block. Maybe you got to go to Hill a little bit more, T-Roy. They're having so much success getting in the backfield.
Hill fakes the give to Bell, rolls right, pass incomplete off the hands of Swift as he was coming out of the backfield, and that is the kind of play call that you really like there. Get your athlete in space, just weren't able to convert.
Everybody at home going to have their own opinion, T-Roy. I think it's an excellent call.
Oh, I like the call.
I think right on point. All game long, I think the balance has been perfect. I think they've given Hill more than ample chances to participate in the game plan, and it just have not been open. But right then, as you said, getting so much support, so much rush in the backfield for Cascade, I wanted to see Hill get an opportunity. We just got to catch. We got to execute, T-Roy.
Another third down, 3rd and 12. Eli Bell in motion. They give it to him. He bumps into Hill. Now he's going to have to turn around, try to scramble, and gets dumped. That one didn't have the timing as Bell had bumped into Hill. That, of course, allowed the pigskin to get free. Bell does pick it back up, and as he tried to reverse field, lost his footing and a loss on the play. And Cascade's going to get this thing back, Nova, with plenty of time left here in the second quarter.
Execution is where we're struggling at, T-Roy. We're just not executing. The calls, the plays are coming in from the sideline. Coaching staff is doing their best job to put the Rockets in position to be successful. We're just not executing, T-Roy.
Nova, I'm just having a hard time wrapping my head around this one. It's almost like they're sleepwalking out there at this point. Grissom boots it away. This one will take a rocket roll and end up being a pretty good kick, as the champions will start at least on their own side of the 50 this time at the 44.
And T-Roy, this is where you, as the defensive coordinator, you just draw up a couple of blitz, T-Roy. You draw up a couple of blitz. Maybe you put your 2 high safeties or something. Tell them don't let anybody behind you, but we're going to bring somebody off the corner. So maybe you bring one of them corners off a blitz or something, but I'm bringing about 2 of these linebackers.
I got to have somebody step up here. Dixon gets some pressure, steps up in the pocket now as he will get to the sideline, and Noble turns nothing into something.
T-Roy, I can't say it any more than that. Coaching staff, defense, they had them in position, T-Roy. You just got to execute.
Yeah.
You got to execute. I mean, at some point in time, it's clear that the coach can only do so much.
I come back to this. I just want to see a sense of urgency. This group is very confident. There becomes a time when you're like, you got to realize facts. You're 3-3 right now. You got to play for your lives. And I just don't see that sense of urgency right now. Huey with the carry across the midfield stripe into Rocket territory at the 47. And once again, Cascade has come out here. They have executed their game plan well. Dixon has kept us off balance on the offensive side. But defensively, I think, is where I've been really surprised that the champions have been able to shut down this Rocket offense.
Champions have been very successful, T-Roy. And maybe we're just saying it all incorrect. Maybe what we should be doing is just saying the champions are doing an excellent job at executing on their end.
You know, and I'm looking at this. I'm thinking, coming into this thing, I'm looking at the paper. I'm like 3-3, 3-3. There's Huntland on here. Huntland's been a bad football team. There's Community on there. Community's been a bad football team. You picked up some wins over some teams that haven't been very good, and right now, the way they're playing, you're going to almost have to put the Rockets in that situation that we haven't been very good. If they win here, what's this win?
Hey, there you go. You're trying to compare some apples to apples, but at the end of the day, that's the reason why they put them on the schedule and make them suit up, T-Roy.
Yeah.
That may be a formation issue there. Let's see what the call is, T-Roy.
Yeah, flag on the play, and Cascade's backing up. But I just think, too, Noble, Summertown gave us a spark. Cascade has not given us a spark tonight.
Summertown You call it a spark. You and I may be saying the same thing. Summertown gave us 2 gifts.
Yeah. I was being a little nicer about it, but yeah. As we go to the air again, Dixon straight back, got some heat, has to step up now and just dumps it out of there, and it's going to be.
That's supposed to be a flag.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm waiting for the flag, and Cascade is waiting for the flag. They think they got a late hit on Dixon back there, but Durbin came like he was shot out of a cannon that time. Swihart coming from the other side, and that's the first time, Noel, I think that they've really been able to bother Dixon and make him have to make a decision.
Do it for me one more time. I apologize to the defensive coordinator. I keep asking you his name.
Coach Bridges. Yeah, Coach Ryan Bridges.
Right on cue. I asked for a couple blitz. I asked for him to bring some pressure. This whole series, all he been doing is making Dixon back there get happy with his feet.
There was your flag, Noble. You got it.
Thank you very much. I absolutely know in the world you can get away with that, running for your life and then just decide to throw the ball to one of your players who hadn't even been in the game.
I think he was looking at the people with the flags over there warming up for the band. It was more in their direction than it was anybody else. That's going to get it to 4th down now, and the Rockets will get it back. Noble, you still got an opportunity here. Right at 3 minutes left here in the second quarter when you get it back. So an opportunity with a short field is Matlock back. Oh, that was a good job there. The punter eluded that one. Matlock will catch it on the fair catch at the 44, but that was a one-hop shot, and that was like a good shortstop making a glove in the hole. He corralled that one and got it out of there.
Your analogy is beautiful, T-Roy, and I hate to even respond after such a beautiful analogy. Twice tonight, fortunate bounces for Cascade. One time the ball was deflected in the air. Cascade caught the ball. Now, how in the world you catch, what's the proper word for a football? Oblique? What?
Like an oblong, yeah.
How does that bounce into your arm?
I don't know, but it did perfectly. His heel rolls right. He's got some pressure, and he is going to be stopped. Lovern was giving chase. He got some help over there, but Hill usually quick enough to elude it. But Lovern with good speed as he was able to stay with Ryan Hill that time.
Again, I said to you a little different. Maybe we've been saying it incorrectly, T-Roy. Maybe we should be tipping our hat to Cascade.
I think we have to right now. I mean, they have definitely been the aggressor. They have been the team that has come out and been much more crisp here in the first half. And, you know, for the Rockets, you're not counting them out of it. But, Noble, you got to have something happen here to get you going. I mean, this whole sideline here is standing just watching things in stunned disbelief, and they have not done very much here to help themselves in the first half. 2nd and 15 as they played behind the sticks. Hill to throw. Hill loaded up, go long. Got a man back there. Pass is incomplete. At the last minute, the defender got back there, but just unable to come up with it. That was a pretty good pass by Hill, and I believe that was Blakemore back there.
That was an excellent pass, T-Roy. That ball was excellent. It was great coverage as well. It was great coverage, but that was an excellent pass, and I cannot wait for Mr. Ricky Sweeney to come in. Hill has to have at least 12 attempts by now, and I appreciate you, Coach Eli Stevenson, in giving Hill an opportunity to get in this game.
You know, they talked about that. We talked about it on Thursday in our interview. This one down the field, and that was a little gator arm situation right there. You knew you were going to get tattooed as he threw it into traffic. There were 4 champions right there, and Ayers kind of had to short arm his arms that time going out for that one.
And I got to be honest with you, one wide receiver going deep into 3 or 4 white jerseys
that are within a couple of yards of you.
I don't know if I would have jumped very high for that.
I'm not throwing out any blame there.
No, sir. I may even come back to the huddle and say, hey, check out of that one next time.
You're right. But for Hill's credit, he threw a good pass.
He did throw a good pass.
Cohen Grissom back in, and this one, again, they had good pressure on him. Short punt. And now you got to worry about Noble. Your defense has kept Cascade out of the end zone the last couple of times, but they've got another opportunity to score here with 1:50 left in the second quarter.
I tell you what, T-Roy, it's subtle, but Coach Bridges may be the bridge to where you're trying to get to. If he can come with some more pressure. Keep this thing 21-0. Give us a chance to go regroup, reset, and come back out. Maybe Coach Bridges is our bridge to a second half win.
Champions will take over, and Noble, I'll get to this thought after this play, but Cascade goes inside scissor Lover and bounces it outside, gets down the sideline with a nice pickup.
Number 19.
What was the, the defensive coordinator Dunn that blitzed? He coached a lot of different places in the SEC, and he blitzed all the time. Now, his defenses were great, but he left himself susceptible to a big play occasionally. That's the thing that you gamble with. You've seen them have a guy get behind the defense before. That's where you kind of play with fire. But, Noble, I think you're right. I think you almost have to at this point just to try to make something happen. Time out on the field. We'll be back.
Hey, there's my girl. Who's that?
Life can be uncomfortable. Your home doesn't have to be. Ream Heating Equipment was designed to bring affordable comfort to any home. So no matter your budget, we can help you feel comfortable, even when you can't be comfortable.
Oh, come on! Yes, let's go!
When it's time for a tune-up or a new HVAC system, contact the trusted pros at Clint's Air Care for expert service and installation.
Welcome back as we hear from one of our fine sponsors, Clint's Air Care. Clint's been a great sponsor, been on with us since the start, Noble, and if you have any HVAC needs, Clint's Air Care, place to go, your certified Ream dealer. Dixon will tuck on the keeper, not a lot there, as he'll pick up a couple, get it down inside the 40 as the clock will continue to move.
T-Roy was not even much of a ball fake. He never even considered any other option other than keeping that. And here's my little slight on that one. If you're going to keep the ball and not even ball fake, you might as well just tell that young man, you just go up in there and block for me. Tell the coach from the sideline, you just call a play where they block for me. I'm going to just run up behind whatever hole they create.
Yeah, I just wasted a second or two with the fake. Just go ahead and get somebody. Third down, and we're going to have a stoppage of play here. They're going to send Bell off the field. I wonder if it's an equipment issue.
Yes,
I guess.
Indeed.
Yeah.
He's flapping in the back.
So get a substitution in there for Bell quickly. As third down for the champions. Nova, once again, not much of a fake there, and the Rockets not buying at all. They get into the backfield, take Dixon down, and now you're looking at fourth down. And interesting decision here, Noble. It's at the 41-yard line, fourth and about 5. Under a minute now, so Cascade, you take a shot here, line up quick, take a shot, see if you get it?
Absolutely not. It's 21-0. You punt the ball, T-Roy.
I'm with you. I wanted to see if you were with me on that one.
No, sir. You and I, we won't even debate that one, T-Roy. I love debating with you sometime, but actually, to be honest with you, for the folks at home, a lot of times I'm on your side. I just love a good debate, but there are some times where clearly I think a little different than you, but not very often. But that time, it's clear. It's 21-0. You punt that ball, and hopefully it lands somewhere around the 15 or 10-yard line.
I'm with you. No matter how tempting it would be. They got the clock run down to 11. They'll take the timeout here. We'll keep it with you. But you think about this, Noble. They run the thing down. Nice job by Coach Tyre. You get here and you think, all right, do I get greedy, take 5 or 6 seconds off the clock, and there's only 5 or 6 ticks left if I don't make it? You don't have a field goal kicker. That's your problem if you get down in that situation. They don't have any timeouts left either. So you're looking at the last play of the half here for the champions, basically, offensively.
Last play would indicate that they're going to run 11 seconds out, right?
That's what I was about to say. Maybe you run Dixon around a little bit, but they're going to punt it away. I'm with you here. I don't take a chance, but play devil's advocate. The last couple of snaps haven't been that good.
I think you play it conservative.
I do too. 21-0 up. You don't want to give us any kind of momentum.
I don't care what book you have. Coaches owe it to the young men to put them in position of success, but they also owe it to the young men to say, hey, you all have played a good game. I'm not going to do anything to sabotage your efforts.
I don't think the Rockets were completely sold. Oh, here it is. He airmailed that one, and what a catch. Oh, my goodness. That may be as good a reception as we'll see all night. Swift will reel it in and be tackled at about the 29, but oh, my goodness. The punter back there reached up with one hand. I think he had stick 'em all over it. It just stuck to his hand, and I was thinking, hey, this could be what we need. He gets it out of there, and the half will end 21-0 champions.
That's Willie Mays in center field right there, T-Roy.
Man, and that is like what you need for the Rockets. You need something to go right. Thought it could be there, but Cascade again does what they have done here in the first half. They have executed. Rockets have not. That's why the champs have a 21-0 lead here at the break.
This broadcast on TC Sports 1 brought to you by Advanced Eye Care Clinic, home of the real Dr. J, Dr. Jeffrey Jordan. By Amigos Mexican Grill, authentic Mexican cuisine. By Apex Bank, a top performer amongst Tennessee community banks. By Benchmark Physical Therapy, where they'll get you back in the game. By Brooks Grocery, where you'll find your next favorite food. Also brought to you by Dr. William Bell at Chapel Hill Family Dentistry. By Clint's Air Care, your local ring dealer. By Farm Bureau Insurance, auto, life, health, and homeowners. By First Commerce Bank, your first choice for hometown banking. We're brought to you by Highway 99 Storage, now with climate control units. By J&J Automotive, your one-stop auto shop. By Lawrence Funeral Home and Cremation Services, serving since 1939. By Lewisburg Animal Hospital, your other family doctor. By Mac Equipment, your local Cub and Exmark dealer. And by the town of Chapel Hill, moving forward with strong tradition.
And they all deserve to be remembered. It is a time when
and a balloon release ceremony will take place here at halftime as the champions lead it 21-0. And Noble, I think about like every other Forrest fan here, just still trying to figure out just what happened in the first half.
And T-Roy, it's an interesting question, and here's the thing. Coaching staff got to go in also and try to figure it out. They don't have much time either to figure it out because the game plan clearly was to try to be more balanced, and you don't have any points on the board. So they did go in and they reshuffled the offense, T-Roy.
Yeah, I mean, it's just execution here in the first half, Noble. Cascade has executed. The Rockets have not.
And on both sides of the ball as well as special teams. Because if we're real clear about it, and just looking at it, everything from a perspective in which we're just looking at it through the lens of what we actually see on the field, things have gone in the way of Cascade. The punt that didn't, the snap that didn't go over the punter's head, the snap that he caught as a grounder, and then the tip pass, but also sideline to sideline, Cascade is making the plays. They wrapping up, making the tackles in the backfield, and we still missing tackles.
Here's the thing, Noble, and I want to go back, and I think you bring up an excellent point. If I am the Rockets, I am selling out. I'm not worried about as much about the return down here, but if they've had that much trouble with the snap, that's what I want to do to try to get myself back in it. Block a punt, get yourself anything to light a fire.
Now you're looking at it from the angle that the coaches got to go in there and look at it. That's the reason why I brought Coach Stacy's name up earlier. We know we've been in the booth with them. We know that they see the game from a higher level, 3,000 feet up, and they looking down. But here's the thing. You got to go back in, and there's been about 3 times this year where I've told you I want to see a play that we seen in the first half come back second half, and we haven't seen any of those. You got to bring me that crossing route back where Carson Yates was open, and then we haven't seen it tonight. You know how I feel about G Squared. G Squared been in 4 routes this year. He's been open all 4 times. You got to put him in a route. And here's the third thing, and I'll leave it alone. I seen Swift go out wide. I have no clue what route he was about to run, but I want to see him in the wide out position. I want to see some of that also.
You know, here's the thing I'm thinking about is they release the balloons here, our breast cancer awareness ceremony here at halftime. And, you know, Noble, I can't help but wonder about, you know, what we're going to see here in this second half from both of these squads. I mean, you go in at halftime, and if you're Cascade, I mean, I'm thinking right now, I'm wondering, you got to tell them, don't get overconfident, fellas. I mean, you've done everything right in the first half. You've almost made it look too easy in the first half. You know, you got to have, and I think they're telling them, hey, look, we got a 21-0 lead. Let's just don't beat ourselves at this point. And for the Rockets, I think you've got to go in, and I think this is the time, and sometimes you have to coach, you know, young men differently. I think this is the time you go in and you peel the paint and you say, look, I got to have somebody step up here. I got to have somebody say, look, my pride is on the line. I want you to hurt. I want you to feel, hey, I don't want to let all these other players down. I want to be the guy that steps up and gets us over the hump. Right now, we have not played well. We got 24 minutes of football left. We are not out of it. We've got a good offense. We defensively have had a few lapses, but we stopped them the last few times they had the football. Let's go out here. Let's play Rocket football. I want you to be confident, but I want you to have that sense of urgency. I want you to say, hey, we have not played the way we need to play. It's going to be on me. And each of those guys in that locker room have got to say, it's going to be on me. I'm going to be the difference in this second half. And as a team, we got to do this. No one individual can do it themselves. It has got to be a complete team effort here in the second half.
You said everything need to be said. I go back to your initial thought, though. You got to coach young men differently. Here you are in Game 7. So what I heard you say was this. If you got to coach young men differently, we have to assume, since you and I have played ball in the past, but we've been around teams also, we know every young man has been chewed out before. And we know that every coaching staff has gone in and somebody's thrown some clipboards and done all that. Yeah. So watch this. You're in Game 7. Maybe you go in there and you do it, you coach differently.
Yeah.
Maybe you go in there and you don't say a word. The silence of the coach. You keep asking for a sense of urgency, and you keep talking about that sideline and nobody getting on anybody. Maybe what has to happen is the coaching staff. The coaching staff, they come in and they don't say a word. And then you check to see if there is somebody on your roster of however many you have that wants to say something. And you give them the opportunity. Because here's the thing. You worked on the game plan all week. What are you going to say as a coach in Game 7, T-Roy, that you hadn't said already, right?
I don't know. I think as a coach, you're probably going in at this point, and I think you're thinking about these things. You're going, hey, what have I got to do right here? I have not seen the execution from my team that I want to see. What can I do? And I think you're going to be frustrated. I think that natural thing, as you said, I think my natural thing is, look, I'm going to challenge everybody. I'm like, look, I got to have somebody, this blue and white that you put on is a privilege. I got to have somebody respect that, step up and play like it here in the second half.
And I'm glad you said it, T-Roy, but I got to ask you. We have to assume that's been done already.
I know, and I'm with you. I'm with you.
If that's been done, if you've already shown your hand to do that before, you can't come back and do that again. And here's, I'm going to say it for the third time. It's Game 7, T-Roy.
Yeah.
And maybe what the coaching staff do is you just go in there and be silent. And the reason I'm saying this to you is I've seen this before. My coaching staff did that to me. And as young men, 16, 17 years old, we don't know what to think because we know now more than the coach know. We know what we just did on this football field. And we know we came in and the coach had prepared us. And we know we didn't execute. So we came in and we said, Coach gonna go off. Now when Coach came in and Coach was silent, we looking around at 15, 16, and 17, and what's going through our mind is, I don't know what this is. I have no idea what's going on Coach's mind. And here's what I'll tell you. It was not Game 7. The people who have been going off on us in practice are the ones who went off on us in the locker room. So this is the place where it's game 7. It's not a coaching decision, and it's not the coach now that's going to put that fire under you. Yeah. It has to be somebody. And here's the problem, and I got a little passion, and I apologize to anybody that's listening. I've said this to you before. Whomever that individual is, he should have done shown up long before game 7, T-Roy.
Yes.
And you cannot be asking the coaching staff to come in there and go off on somebody now. And you cannot be asking for me to show up at game 7 and show those leadership skills and traits that you've been asking for at this stage.
Yeah, and I think, too, Noble, it becomes a situation where if you're a prideful coaching staff, you're almost at this point, if you haven't found those people, you're kind of like, what do I do at this point? You know, how do I handle this situation? So I'm sure there's a lot of frustration for everybody. Now, last year, I will say, and I had a little bit better grip on this team just because my son was in the locker room. That group really were self-motivated. They were a really tight group. They had a lot of guys that were, if you put them individually, that they weren't going to scare you individually. But as a team, they realized they had to pull together. They were very tight-knit and very prideful. That group, you know, may not have had the most individual talent on the field, but that's why it's a team sport. You pull together and you pull for a common goal. I would think at the start of the season, I think the coaching staff even admitted, they weren't expecting that much from that group. They overachieved. This group had a lot of laurels heaped on them before the season ever started. A lot of expectations. This is going to be the team that gets us to the Final Four and beyond. Now, they came out, played like world beaters the first 2 games. Then you've had adversity. And I'm like you. Coaching staff is trying to figure out who is that guy in our locker room right now that where I don't have to say that.
And that's all I want to say, and I just want to be clear. And T-Roy, I hope this doesn't come off sounding negative to this team, but here's what I'll say. It may be unfair for you to bring up last year's team because of the love and the family the atmosphere that they had.
Yeah.
Because here's what I'm saying. For that team to be successful last year, all the love and affection, coaching staff could sit back and let somebody show up and do that. Yeah. And that's all I'm saying is we have to trust that those grown men in there who are with those young men, they know the hearts of those young men, and they know whose buttons they can push, and they know the best way to do it. And all I'm saying for the last time before we get to Mr. Sweeney, because I did get a little passion because I want to see these young men succeed.
Yes.
I want to see them succeed. And here's the thing. I know that the coaching staff put a lot of work in, and they also want to see them succeed. Mm-hmm. And I just think that at some point in time, as a coach, you do everything possible to put them in position of success. And at some point in time, it's that innate thing in them that has to pull it out. But I don't want to do the comparison thing with last year's team because I just don't think it's proper to do last year's team.
I think every team, as you said, has its own identity for sure. I just think I was bringing that up in the sense of that group, that was what you wanted to see where the coach didn't have to do those things. And you made a great point. That's what I was trying to piggyback off of, is that maybe you can't do that. You're waiting for somebody to be able to do that themselves. And you know, and I think, too, we're sitting here, we want these guys to win. We want them to succeed. We see the talent there. But right now, I think we're just frustrated like they are. We're waiting for it to happen. Ricky, and as we go to stats here at halftime, when you give this and you turned around and showed it to us, I think we're still shaking our heads.
Yeah, I think Troy, our viewers tonight saw the same game we saw. We're still waiting for the Rocket team to show up. Folks, here's the stats for the first half. The Rockets had 17 rushing plays for 0 yards. They were 1 of 7 passing for 6 yards. 6 yards of total offense in the first half for the Forrest Rockets. I don't think I've ever seen that before. The Rockets had 24 offensive plays. 15 plays of those 24 first half plays went for 0 or for minus yards. Only 9 plays went for positive yards. That's something that we can build on in the second half for sure. Cascade, 14 rushes for 87 yards, 10 of 16 passing in the first half for 79 yards, 166 yards of total offense in the first half for Cascade. Individually for your Forrest Rockets, Ryan Hill, 3 carries for -4. Eli Bell, 2 carries for -20. Liam Bell, 6 carries for 11. And Tayton Swift, 6 carries for 13 yards. 1 pass reception for the Rockets, and that was Tayton Swift caught one, the lone pass reception for the Rockets in the first half, and that was for the 6 yards of the Rockets' total offense. Individually spread out pretty good for Cascade champions. Great athlete, senior Zamarion Dixon, 7 carries for 49 yards. His first carry was 34 yards. I think it was on 4th down for a touchdown, 34 yards out. Then he had a 3-yard touchdown run. He had 7 for 49 in the first half. Connor Huey, 3 for 14. I look for him to get the ball a little bit more in the second half.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Sawyer Lavorne, 4 carries for 24. Now, pass catching, he threw the ball around to everybody here tonight. They had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different guys catching passes. Leading pass catcher, Hayden Dowell, 5 catches for 45 yards. One of those a 30-yard touchdown catch. Byford had 1 for 5. Huey 1 for 3. Lavorne 1 for 3. And Chance Brown 2 for 23. Not much to show for on the stat page for the Forrest Rockets. They trailed here at halftime 21-0.
Now, we have all been in a situation, and I tell you what, I'm going to get probably a little wordy, so maybe it would be good if we went ahead and took a break here at halftime. We'll hear from some of our fine sponsors, and we'll be back with more here on TC Sports 1. Once again, your score at the break, it is 21-0 Cascade.
Funeral home and cremation services had its beginning in 1939 when Thomas H. Lawrence established the business. Lawrence Funeral Home has always strived to provide compassionate, dignified, and professional service to every family it serves, regardless of their circumstances. Lawrence Funeral Home pledges to the families of Marshall and surrounding counties to continue providing excellence in funeral service. In your time of need, our family is there for your family. Lawrence Funeral Home and Cremation Service.
Stop in and visit Mac Equipment, your largest Exmark and Cub Cadet dealer in the state of Tennessee. Locally owned and operated in the heart of Chapel Hill at 109 North Horton Parkway, next to Southern Roots Hair Salon. Mac Equipment offers parts, sales, service, and rental. Their factory-certified technicians also service multiple brands of outdoor power equipment, making this a perfect stop for your future equipment repairs. Don't forget to visit our 2 other locations in Murfreesboro and Lewisburg. That's Mac Equipment.
And as the band continues to play below, we want to come back to our thoughts here. And Noble, you know, I think, too, we were talking about it, don't want to be, you know, too critical, because we have been in this situation as athletes time and time again. You play, there's 2 halves to every game. You, on the bright side for the Rockets, you want to think, hey, as badly as we played the first half, we still have a chance to come out here in the second half. We just got to make something happen, get that spark going, and we could still win this ball game. But on the other side, you got to have, and I'll keep referring to it as that sense of urgency of, hey, we haven't played well here in the first half. What are we going to do about it? We got to pull together, and as you said, I think there's got to be somebody on that team that pulls those guys together and says, look now, we got to have some pride right now. We have not played well. We are capable. And if it would be a different story, and I don't think we would be frustrated like we are now if it was a situation where we were just strictly overmatched. This is not a situation where you're overmatched. And I'm not taking anything away from Cascade. This should be coming in tonight. Both these teams 3-3. Both of them have things to work on. You know, this should be a pretty evenly matched up game. As Ricky gave the stats here, it's 166-6 in the total yardage category. That's where the frustration comes in here at halftime. You got to have somebody be able to say, look, we got to do better. Let's do better right now. Let's come together. Let's make something happen, and let's play as well as this second half as we played badly in the first.
Yeah, we could play better football. I don't know what it is. It's the guys could do better. I mean, I'm like you guys. I don't want to be critical of them, but we're not reaching our potential here somewhere. And they need to. The little fellas need to see that. They need to know that. I hope they will take this if they go back and watch this game. I hope they take it that way, and that's what we're seeing. I think that's what you viewers are seeing, that these guys could do more than this.
I'm in consensus with you three, and here's what I'm saying, T. Roy and Mr. Sweeney. I don't think it's offensive, but maybe the only thing I would say as a coach is I would show the stats you just mentioned. Mm-hmm. I'm just going to show you the stats, and I'm going to say exactly what you said, but I'm going to sum it up. These guys are not better than us.
No.
Okay? And I'm just going to say that. We have not played our best ball. And I think that's the reason why the frustration is the word you're using. Because, see, it's easy to go to the locker room if you have played a team that's just much better than you, and you accept that. But when you have a team that you know that you can compete with, that's the frustrating part.
Yeah, 87 yards on the ground and 79 through the air. That's not dominating anybody at all. That's not going to dominate most teams. That's not going to do that.
Well, and I think individually we've all played, and I want a guy on my team that I'm embarrassed. I mean, I'm sitting here right now. I can't wait to get back out on the field because I'm embarrassed at what I saw and what I participated in the first half. Right now, I'm going to find out who wants to be on this field. I'm going to use this as an opportunity, and I'm going to say, look, if you don't want to be on the field, if you don't show me, I want to see somebody that's got heart. I want to see somebody that's going to dig in the second half. I don't care. We've missed tackles in the first half. I don't care if you miss a tackle. You better be there trying. I don't want to see any Olay. I want to see somebody that's going to get out here and put the effort into this contest to win this thing. I don't want to see any halfway effort. I don't want to see any lagging around. I'm going to put the guys out here, and I don't care if we get beat 42-0. We're going to find out who wants to play.
Now you have said something I can get behind. And I don't mind. I'm not even going to apologize for this statement. I don't mind. If that means some of my starters sit the second half, I know what it means to the community. I know the community is going to look at me and they're going to say, hey, what you just did was you wrote the game off. No, I didn't write it off. What I was thinking about was the rest of my season.
Yes.
I was saying, hey, either I'm going to light a fire under you or I'm going to play with the ones that want to play down the stretch. And so
if I have to build for tomorrow, so be it.
Yeah, because we've got to still the numbers are there for us to still win a region championship. So that's what you got to. You're playing for that. You've got something to play for. Go out and do it.
And that's how you light a fire on them as a coach. You don't necessarily have to yell at them, Mr. Sweeney. You just get their attention. And the best way to get my attention is to put me on the bench second half.
We'll see what happens here. We don't have long to wait as the Band of Blue concluding their halftime performance here at the Rock.
Hometown banking. It's having your decisions made by a bank right here in your town, not in another city, county, or even state. It's neighbors and friends who know your name and take the time to greet you when you walk in. It's modern technology such as online banking and mobile check deposits while still being able to talk to a living, breathing human. Come visit us at 4641 Nashville Highway or call us at 364-7888. First Commerce Bank, your first choice for hometown banking, member FDIC, and an equal housing lender.
Moving forward with strong tradition. It's the town's motto, but it holds so true today. The town of Chapel Hill is balancing expanded growth with preserving the small town traditions that make it special. The town's administration and employees would like to take this time to reaffirm their commitment to the citizens of Chapel Hill and to wish the Rockets and Lady Rockets success in their upcoming seasons. From the home of the Lions Super Bowl of the South, the town of Chapel Hill says, "Go Rockets!"
And welcome back as after a lengthy halftime, we had great performances by both bands. We'll get set for this third quarter, and we'll just have to see what we have in store from the Rockets. They took the football first. Cascade gets it here to begin the third quarter. Defense on the field.
Defense is on the field, T. Roy, and I've been with you for a long time, and I'm gonna ask for your indulgence for a brief second. I'm going to go off script a second, not going to talk football for a second because we talked all during the halftime. Whomever the young lady is that came in and did the halftime promotion part for the breast cancer awareness, here's what I loved about what she said to the audience. She took the opportunity to acknowledge that she wanted to share this moment with all cancer survivors and even the ones who may not have survived, because a lot of times when we think about October, we think about breast cancer. They focus so much on breast cancer, and I gotta tell you, I haven't heard too many people take that opportunity to say we want to include everybody. So I appreciate her doing that.
Yeah, I'm sitting here thinking too. As much as we get worked up over all of this, it's only a game. There is a lot going on in real life that people have had to endure, and definitely want to be mindful of that. Now, like I say, we can get worked up over this. But when you look at the big picture, this is a privilege to get to come out here each and every week.
That's why it's a blessing to be side by side with you, T. Roy, on Friday nights with these student athletes. You were able to see the bigger picture, see life, and I knew that you would indulge me for a moment to talk about something a little more important about life than just football. So we'll keep this game that young folks play, and sometimes grown men are fortunate to play in perspective, but there are bigger things in life, and our thoughts and prayers go out to all those who have fought and those who have lost the fight.
G-Square bangs this one long, taking on a hop at the 5, 10, 15, eluding a tackle, 20, 25, 30, trying to get back center of the field, and a great job on the return there on the coverage by guess who, Noble?
G-Squared, that's my man, T-Roy. And I'm going to tell you, that's the energy I'm looking for. 6'1", 185-pound kicker. Now, think about it, T-Roy. If you want to say, I'm going to give my all, here's the thing. You kick the ball off, and then you go down there and you make the tackle.
Hey, here's the thing I like. He kicked off, went down there, slammed the guy down, ran back and grabbed his tee and got off the field. He's ready.
And you know what else? He had 2 linemen come up and give him a high five, and that's what you're talking about.
Yeah.
That you high five your kicker when he come off and make a good play. Then the kicker energized. Let's get this defense energized.
Dixon to his left, straight quarterback keeper to the corner, eludes one tackle, gets outside, and he'll make again something out of nothing. They had really good penetration that time. Van Patten had a shot at him, but Dixon was able to get to the sideline and pick up a small gain.
He did get a small gain, T-Roy, but here's the thing. They stretched him wide. They forced him to the boundary, and here's the thing. If you can continue to stretch him wide and don't allow him to turn that corner, because you don't want him getting to that second level. You don't want to be in a foot race with him. So let's see what the second half adjustments are for the coaching staff, Coach Bridges.
You want to keep them behind the sticks. Give this time Huey up the middle with running room, down the sideline, and this one could be trouble. Huey at the 20, 15, 10, 5, and into the end zone. A 65-yard touchdown scamper by Connor Huey, and just that quick, it's 27-0.
You and Mr. Sweeney predicted that you all may see some of him in the second half. And previous play we just got through talking about not allowing them to get in the middle of the field and go into the foot race, T-Roy.
They'll line up for 2, and once again, a little confusion here without them having the I guess the confidence in the kicker right now going for 2 every time, or maybe they just have that attitude that, hey, we're going to hope we hit on 50% of them and don't have to worry about it.
And if you do the math like that and you got a fella like Dixon in the backfield, we've heard the debate a lot of times, you're going to come out ahead just getting the 50%.
There he goes, right up the middle. He'll be denied, but we've got a penalty marker back here in the back at the 15, a legal procedure on the Champs. Noble, and this is eerily similar to the Moore County game where you thought about, hey, you get within striking distance, you need a stop, and they returned the opening kickoff of the second half. That kind of took the wind out of the sails. Here, Huey, 65-yard run, similar, I think, to that emotional surge.
The only thing different is a few more seconds came off the clock. That's the only thing different. The results are the same, T-Roy. The results are the same. It's just a few more seconds came off the clock.
Chapa's going to try to kick it. It's going to be a 25-yard attempt now after the penalty. Snap's good. Set down, kick on the way, and it is good. And with 11:26 left here in the third quarter, it is now 28-0 Champs.
Amigo's Mexican Grill is the place you'll find all your authentic favorites, from burritos to enchiladas to sizzling fajitas, all served fast and fresh. Dine in, order online, or call in your order at 364-2222. Also, Amigos has catering services available for your next big occasion as well. Good food, good times at Amigos Mexican Grill, 216 South Horton Parkway. Visit their other locations in Lewisburg and Spring Hill. Amigos, proud supporters of the Rockets.
Lewisburg Animal Hospital serves the veterinary needs of Marshall County. They've grown to a 4-doctor practice specializing in small animal medicine. They offer advanced medicine, surgery, and nursing care in a personal and relaxed environment with the utmost compassion for their patients. For your pet's grooming and boarding needs, Maggie Roo Pet Retreat and Grooming Salon is located adjacent to the hospital. Call 931-359-5945 to schedule an appointment for your pet.
And welcome back as Cascade set for the kick. Noble, I won't let you were pointing to me, and I apologize. I wasn't seeing what you were saying as we fumbled the kickoff.
I was just a little bit confused, T-Roy. I'll talk to you off air about it.
Okay.
I seen some jerseys. I seen some jerseys on the football field, and I thought I was a little bit confused about some things I was looking at. So I wasn't sure what was going on. I was just gonna get you to help me figure some things out.
But I want to give credit. I thought that in the first half, I thought it was Blakemore who had switched to tight end. That's actually Blaine Meeks, 38.
Thank you very much.
Who is spread out wide right, or short side right as the Rockets take over. Give Swift, lost the handle. And, boy, I tell you, this is like watching one of those NFL films on the 76 Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Bloopers real?
Ooh. It's not looking good right now.
That's not a bloopers reel. That was a bad team that season you talking about.
Yeah,
wow.
This is just I'm just not accustomed to seeing this.
That what you talking about? They look like that was an expansion team.
Yeah. Mishandled the snap, lost on the play, back to the ground they go. Not a lot of running room there. There's just a lot of white jerseys and not a whole lot you can do.
Certainly not, T-Roy. And again, I know we've said it a lot of different ways, but until something changes, I'm just going to change my tune and say I got to take my hat off to the champions, T-Roy.
Yeah,
I just got to say they playing superb defense.
Give them credit. They've come to play tonight. I'm not sure who. We'll have to check. I'm not sure who has. It's not Chris Davis. No, he is out. So somebody's got the one on tonight as they give to Swift. Swift across the 35. He'll be down shy of the 40. Nice game by Swift, but still well shy of his first down.
And T-Roy, since you're the best play-by-play guy that exists, you just alluded to what I was trying to get your attention. I was trying to let you know that someone that came out on the field, and I wanted to give you time to prepare to maybe check to see who that was. But I was a little bit confused, and I figured you would probably be able to find out exactly what was going on.
So now, Noble, going forward on your own side of the field, 4th down and 6.
You're making your statement right here, T-Roy.
You are. Rolling the dice here are the Rockets. They're going to give left side Swift, and Swift will get his first down. Muscled his way forward. He got a pretty good finishing block out there. Luke Allen Gravy got a good kick, and he allowed Swift to get behind him and pick up his first down. So moving the sticks there, and maybe there's a little heartbeat left in the patient, Noble.
There you go, T-Roy. There you go, 5'11", 230-pound Gravy Allen, number 71, sophomore.
Approaching the 9-minute mark as they go back to the ground. That was a miscommunication there. That was supposed to be inside scissor. There was nobody there. Swift looking to hand it off, and he ended up having to eat that one, loss of a couple.
He was there. He just happened to be 2 yards away from where he was supposed to be, T-Roy. And, again, it boils down to lack of execution, T-Roy. And here's the thing. I know you used the word frustrated, and maybe if I calm down a little bit, it'll come out sounding a little more calm. Ain't no telling how many times they worked on that in practice.
Yeah, Eli Bell with it. Trying to run off that right side. Durbin out there trying to give him a block. But once again, there are a lot of white jerseys in the area. Very minimal gain there. And it's going to bring up 3rd down and long one more time. And that's where they have been tonight, Noble. It's been behind the sticks more often than not tonight.
Well, here's the thing. Even if you tune in right at halftime, you know they've been behind the sticks because Mr. Ricky Sweeney told you how many negative plays they had behind the line of scrimmage, T-Roy.
Noble, I have never, and in my life, and I don't think as long as I do this, if I live to be 150,
I know what you're going to say. Go ahead and say it.
They would have 0 yards rushing at halftime.
I never heard that many negative plays in the first half either, in any game.
Yeah, you're right. And like I say, you don't know whether that's just the Rockets haven't executed well or Cascade's just been that good. Hill's pass low and right there where his receiver could get it. Nobody else. Smeet Patel, the senior, with the catch. Smeet's first reception of the year.
Hill, that time, learned from the first half, let me get rid of this ball, okay? And here's the thing. He gave himself some extra time. He gave a little cushion, and he came back. But here's the other side of that. That's a lesson learned from the first half because of human behavior, T-Roy, muscle memory. He was getting a lot of pressure put on him in the first half. So his legs and his body said, I need to retreat a little bit. Yeah. We cannot have that down the season, though. He got to be able to have some time in the pocket and shouldn't be retreating.
4th down. Hill rolling. Looking. Pass is intercepted or incomplete. Looks like they're going to rule it.
It's better for Cascade if it's incomplete.
Yeah, really. But I think they're going to call it an interception there as Hill. Really, Noble, you got nothing to lose if you're Hill. You got to try to make the 4th down there. He tried to gun it in a tight window, and the champions will take over.
Well, he's got to let the ball go. So there's absolutely no positive, no advantage, no benefit to him not throwing the ball. So it's 4th down. It's got to be released, T-Roy, and it would be.
If you sit back there and eat it, you're not going to make it. So
you're not. And what has to happen, T-Roy? The passing routes, they got to be more crisp. Somebody got to show him some numbers to be able to hit.
Once again, Cascade now this time. For one of the few times tonight, champions with a little miscue as it'll cost them 5. Noble, you're still looking 6 plus.
They saying we jumped offside. We did have 2 jump, but they putting that on us. They saying all Cascade do is go in motion.
Man, Noble, when it rains, it pours.
Oh man, it's a shower.
Dixon got a couple of blockers out there trying to run wide. Good penetration that time by the Rockets. They strung that one out, and I think it was 17 Groenveld who was able to escort him out of bounds, but that's kind of the way you want to play that one.
That is exactly how you want to play it. You got 4 blue jerseys over there, T-Roy, and I tell you what, Groenveld you've seen. Also, number 21, show him some love, T-Roy. Number 21.
Patton.
Okay, and number 42, we got to show him some love also. I don't have his number, but number 42 was in the mix as well, T-Roy, and I hope somebody can find out his number, but he was in the play.
Give off that left side through a hole. 1st down and more. Ayers with the stop, but once again, Huey, quick hitter, Noble, and he was really right there, had the football and up the field very quickly.
T-Roy, based upon the pace of the game and the way everything's playing out, I have no reason to give you why Dixon would ever pass the ball for the remaining part of the game.
No, I want that clock moving just as quick as it can. Give off the right side. Once again, pretty good gain on 1st down, and that's the thing, Noble. They haven't been able to get Cascade in those situations where it is 3rd down and 7, 3rd down and 8. Those 3rd down and 4th down situations for the champions have been the manageable 2, 3, 4 yards.
Think about what you just said, T-Roy. Rockets, Cascade. Behind schedule, the Rockets. Ahead of schedule on 1st down and 2nd down for the champions. That's the reason why the Rockets have been forced to pass the ball, and that's the reason why Dixon has had the luxury of having a balance. We don't know when he's going to throw or when he's going to run.
Yeah. And I'm thinking about this, Noble. If Cascade scores right here and makes an extra point.
Don't say it. No, don't say it.
Okay.
Don't say it. Everybody at home already know that information already.
Out of the gun. Dixon, give Huey. Left side this time, cuts it back up in the middle, and he breaks free. One more time, Huey, to add insult to injury. A 51-yard touchdown scamper by Connor Huey. And I'm just not going to say it.
The play is going to be a touchdown for Cascade.
there's a lot of noise on the other side, T-Roy, and I tell you what, this is when you start, as a player, you start remembering the noise on the opposing team side.
Did you see that? Two-point conversion is good. Center turns around and just throws it. He didn't hike it. Just shovels it over here for the two-point conversion. It's now 36-0. Cascade will be back.
Eye Care Clinic, Dr. Jeffrey Jordan and his staff offer a wide range of services, including comprehensive eye exams, advanced testing, and eye disease management. Fashion frames from top names like Guess and Kate Spade. They also stay on top of new eye care advances like Vuity and Upneat. And that unique Dr. J touch that always leaves you with a smile until your next visit. Make your appointment at 359-4373. Advanced Eye Care Clinic, 815 East Commerce.
Your one-stop shop to keep your vehicle running smooth is J&J Automotive. From routine maintenance like oil changes to brake repairs, tires and alignment, and exhaust work as well, J&J has got you covered. They work on gas and diesel engines. Call Vince or Matt Jackson at 931-364-5602 or stop by their location at 1791 Highway 99. Keep your vehicle in tip-top shape at J&J Automotive.
And welcome back. Champions score, make it now 36-0 with 5:07 left here in the third, and I don't think even the most ardent Cascade fan could have seen this coming.
No, I don't think they had this in their script either, T-Roy, and they brought a pretty nice crowd. They brought a pretty nice crowd to support their young folks, and unfortunately for the Rockets and the Rockets fans, Cascade fans have had quite a bit to cheer for this evening.
They have. Noble, at worst tonight, I really felt like this was a game the Rockets could win. I was not thinking it was a lot by any stretch of the imagination. I thought it might be a tight ball game that we could pull out here at home. But with the situation that we get now, and to add insult to injury, miscommunication, bad exchange between center and quarterback, fumble, and picked up by the champs. Whatever can, has, and will go wrong tonight for the Rockets.
And T-Roy, it's hard. It's hard to motivate young men at this particular moment. It's hard to motivate them. They look up at the score and they know they have their own personal opinion about their individual performances. It's hard to motivate them at this particular moment.
I'm telling you, folks, it's going to be a tough one. The Rockets right now, unless they snap out of this funk in a hurry, they got to win their last two against right now what are the top two teams in the region in Richland and Mount Pleasant just to make the playoffs. They haven't not made the playoffs since 2008.
Gain of 5, we'll call it 2nd and 5, ball at the 28.
T-Roy, is just an opportunity. This is just individual gut time right here.
Yeah, you got to step up right here. Give inside on the scissor again. Running room up the middle, cutting between defenders. And right now, the champions, Sawyer-Lovern, they are ready to pile it on. There is blood in the water, and boy, they are taking full advantage right now. And Noble, I've been extremely shocked that they have been able to run in the middle of the field like they've been able to tonight.
They've had a great deal of success, T-Roy. The holes that are open, our linebackers don't seem to be there to fill them, and again, a few missed tackles or whatever. But we've seen the speed of Cascade as well once they've got in that second level.
Give again, Huey trying to bust his way once again through the middle. They did not get him wrapped up and bring him down, and that's your whole season in a nutshell.
That's that lack of motivation, T-Roy. That's the lack of motivation. And I'll say it to you again. I'll say it to you again. Coaches can't tackle for you, T-Roy.
No.
Coaches cannot tackle for you. They can get you ready for the week, but they cannot go out there and play the game. They're just like me and you. Their eligibility is over.
You know, and that's the sad part about it, because when it gets down to it, it's going to end up falling not on the players' feet. It's going to fall on the coach's feet.
And this cannot be blamed on a coach.
Chapa for the point after try. Kick on the way, and the kick is good. New score here from Chapel Hill. The champions lead it 43-0.
Know that with Apex Banking Online, you can access your accounts, pay bills, and send money to friends and family anytime? Our online banking feature gives you the advantage of secure banking right from anywhere. With our mobile app and online services, banking has never been more convenient. We're here to serve you wherever you go. Visit us in Chapel Hill or call 931-246-7105. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Joseph Fowler and his outstanding staff are dedicated to providing the most effective, clinically superior physical therapy humanly possible. They make it easy to get back in the game by accepting most insurances, including Medicare. They specialize in total joint replacement rehab and orthopedic conditions. They'll help get your range of motion, flexibility, and your strength back. They even assist in dizziness and balance disorders. Get yourself back in the game at Benchmark Physical Therapy, 4654 Nashville Highway.
And welcome back. Stunned disbelief here in Chapel Hill. 43-0 Cascade. 2:26 left here in the third quarter. Noble, not saying it is impossible, but the Rockets, if they are going to do it, that is get back into the playoffs, they have got to win the last two games to do so.
And T-Roy, here's what I heard you.
Last two region games.
I understand exactly what you meant. I heard you, T-Roy, and I'm looking, and I know what I'm supposed to respond to, but I feel the urge to say this. The Rockets have a couple key players that they're missing. But here's the thing. They still have enough players to perform better than this, T-Roy.
Yeah, this effort tonight, I don't think players, coaches, or fans are going to consider this effort acceptable here tonight. Give right side, and Bell going to be hit down.
Number 1, Liam Bell on the carry.
Bell had to change jerseys as
Tackled by a host of the champion.
he is bottled up. I'm just going to be honest with you, Noble. This one's just tough to watch. Number of reasons here. You know, it's a rivalry game. You hate to lose any game, but you don't want to lose this one, especially because of the rivalry. You have kind of taken over the rivalry in the last few years.
It's not only tough to watch, it's tough to offer a little color to.
Yeah. I mean, I'm trying to think of what could come good out of this, and I'm kind of at a loss for words right now. Usually I can find things that I can find the sunny side of things, but I'm telling you, I'm just seeing dark clouds right now.
I will say this: you have an extensive vocabulary, so you there's a plethora of words from the dictionary that come out very familiar to you. So for you to be at a loss for words, actually says a lot.
Man, I hurt for them right now. I mean, this is just tough to go through. I mean, you're just playing out the string. Running clock, 43-0, home turf. It couldn't get much worse. Heel to throw. Looking, steps up, eludes the rush. Now he's got to tuck and run, and he'll be taken down shy of the first down. There's Chapa with the tackle. So it'll bring up a fourth down, and that'll be the final play of the third quarter as we've got another injury to the Rockets as we head, and this one will be most carefully observed during the break between third and fourth quarters.
Oh no, what I would do without you to show me the way and the truth. I don't know what I would do if I didn't have you. If I didn't have you.
Your local agents, Scott Bond and Troy Cashin. Are you moving to the area and need a place to store your possessions? Are you trying to declutter your existing space or needing a place to park your boat, RV, truck, trailer, or camper? There's a simple solution. It's Highway 99 Storage. Conveniently located off Highway 99 and James King Road, it's a lighted, secure, and fenced-in area to keep your valuables safe. New units available with climate control. Call 364-5678 to rent. That's Highway 99 Storage.
and many others make today's pep rally for breast cancer a great
And welcome
success.
back as we look down on the sideline. There you see our camera shot of Ryan Hill. They're going to try to stretch him out, and that's a big loss. Not only tonight, but that going forward.
Yeah, that's the starting quarterback as a freshman. There's a lot to be said to start at quarterback as a freshman.
Fourth down from the Wildcats. Swift unable to get it as the Cascade defense sniffed that one out beautifully, Noble. And right now, when you're up 43-0, you can afford to gamble.
And think about it, T-Roy. Swift coming in 100-plus yards a game.
Yeah.
And Cascade come in, and not only do they key on him, but they have a great deal of success in being effective and making him very limited in how effective this offense has been tonight. So, again, I think maybe I spent the first half looking at it incorrectly and saying it incorrectly. I'm going to go ahead and take my hat off to Cascade.
Yeah, I mean, you got to tonight. If you don't, then something's wrong with you. They have come here, give them every bit of credit because they were motivated, they were ready, they executed their game plan, and Noble on both sides of the football, they were the aggressor tonight.
They were, T-Roy, and just like most sports, the victor goes to the aggressor in most sports.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, they just really were crisp tonight on that first run from Dixon. That was the thing that kind of got them, springboarded them into having some confidence, and after that, long run after long run.
Yes, indeed. We talked about striking early, striking often, and unfortunately it was Cascade who did that.
You know, and here's the thing, and you talked about it, and I think point very well made is look at Huey continue to struggle trying to get some extra yards there, but you talked about what an excellent job this staff did last year. This defense, these coaches didn't get dumb overnight. You know, that's the thing. It's poor tackling here in this game. We haven't done that, and that's been the thing I can't think that's kind of been puzzling to a lot of folks is you're not used to seeing the mental breakdowns and the tackling issues that they have had this season. It's uncustomary.
Can you do that for me one more time, T-Roy? I'm not from the community, but this is the same coaching staff from last year, correct?
Right.
So I think that's worth noting, T-Roy.
Oh, my goodness. Dixon gets outside, and we know sooner than get it out of our mouths, and there's about 3 missed tackles, and Dixon gets into the end zone. Hey, take your hats off. Dixon has been a magician tonight. He has been very effective, and he scores again, and I think there's just not anything else left to say. I'm thinking that our audio probably should have went out tonight rather than last night because there's just nothing left to say much on this one right now. 49-0.
Point made, T-Roy. Point made.
Let's talk about something while we'll come back from break and we'll talk about something good here. Chappa, they rolled that one back there, and the champions that was like one of those Garo Upremians, if you've seen on the old highlights where they just kind of roll that thing around and somebody finally picked it up. So the point after try is no good as we go to break with 9:07 left here in the fourth quarter. It is 49-0. Yes, you heard it right, 49-0 champions.
You can't have it all. At Brooks Grocery, they've got farm fresh fruits and vegetables, a deli with a selection of freshly prepared favorites, Brooks specialties like Ava's pimento cheese and Adam's chicken salad, freshly made pies, cakes, and desserts, and who could possibly forget the best meat department you'll find anywhere. Great selection, online ordering, and friendly customer service. Brooks Grocery, the place you'll find your next favorite food.
Chapel Hill Family Dentistry has been serving the oral care needs of Chapel Hill and the surrounding area since 2006. They're a general and cosmetic dental practice dedicated to improving your smile and the overall oral health of you and your entire family. Their goal is to provide superior quality health care in a comfortable environment. Call and schedule your appointment today at 364-4557. That's Dr. William Bell and the Chapel Hill Dentistry staff, proud supporters of the Forrest Rockets.
Kick taken up the sideline, and once again, good downfield coverage by the champions. And Noble, let's go back and hit. I know you didn't get a chance to to make it last night as the middle school Rockets championship game against Fayetteville City, who we were talking about before, may end up being a member of our region. It looks like on the enrollment numbers, they're going to be over the old cutoff of 374. We got to see, or excuse me, of 541. Got to see where that cut is, but they may very well end up being region members on the next classification. But last night we got together in middle school Duck River Valley Conference Championship action, and the Rockets won it 40-16. They got some bright players coming up.
Well, that is certainly something positive. Look, and glass certainly half full. T. Roy, upcoming 7th and 8th graders making their way up here and making room. So I guess Mr. Ryan Hill, freshman quarterback, setting a precedent. He's starting something. Some freshmen to come up here and be able to fit right in. So that's how you have a little farm league. You get your middle school up and running, and they come up and just slide right on in and be very productive.
These last two middle school teams have been untouchable, and there's a lot of talent in those two classes. We see it here with the freshman group this year. So, tonight, not the night, but a lot to look forward to is Aiden Cantrell in the game. Hands to Swift. And Swift will get outside, pick up a couple. Still shy of his first down as the clock continues to move. And in a game like this, that's the only good thing about a running clock. Just less time to have to suffer.
Wow. And it will all be over soon. But here's the thing, T-Roy. Here's what I would like to see also. Same mindset. The fans are still here.
Yeah.
And I want to make sure that I mention that.
Yeah,
the fans are still here. The parents, grandparents, everybody, the fans are still here, and I appreciate them for that.
Yeah, that's the kind of support that you get where you've built a successful program. Pass caught Bell with a one-handed stab at the 40, 45, down the field, lowers his shoulder. He'll pick up his first down as he gets to the midfield stripe.
Complete to number 1, Liam Bell.
I think by no means is it going to affect the game score-wise, but I think just to feel a little better about yourself, you want to punch one in here. I don't care whether it's first, second, third, fourth, or fifth team on the field, you want to score.
It's the opposite effect, T-Roy. You always get upset when your defense has pitched a shutout and somebody scores late. Same thing here. Yeah. You don't want to be shut out on offense, T-Roy.
Exactly. They'll give on the scissor with the carry outside Marable. Stiff arm, stays in bounds as he tight ropes down the sideline, and he'll be very close to his first down. I think he'll have it as they mark him out at the 38. And we get a chance to see here late. That's one thing I am interested to see. I want to see these young guys get a few carries. Not in a situation like this, but if you got a situation where it's out of hand, let these guys get in and get some experience.
And I certainly understand, T-Roy. So every time number 77, your special lineman there, Spence Tanksley, providing the key block. But take your hat off to Antonio Marable, freshman there, 5'6", 165 pounds, had his head up, cut right off of the buttocks of Tanksley, and speed is all you seen.
Give Swift on the sweep, gets outside. We got a penalty marker that flies from the backside, and that's usually not a good thing for the offense.
It won't be good this time.
We've also got one in the defensive secondary in the backfield back here at about the 20.
I missed that one, T-Roy. We got a little assistance there in helping him get to the edge that time, but I'm not sure what the one is on the back. Typically, both of them going to be against the Rockets, so it'll be a case of just figuring out which one you want to go with.
Face mask on Cascade. It'll be offsetting penalties. Of course, we saw the hold. So, clock moving. 4:45. Cascade will move to 4-3. They'll be 1-2 in region play. The Rockets will move to 3-4. They will be 1-2. But also, you got to think about teams that are over them right now that they might be battling for third and fourth, possibly. Loretta and Cascade. They have lost to. You still got the top two coming up. That's where the road gets tough for the Rockets. They are in a must-win situation in their next two region games. They got to win against Richland and Mount Pleasant to get in the playoffs.
Man, that's harder than a trigonometry formula that you just put together right there, sir.
give up the middle.
25, Cohen Grissom.
That's Cohen Grissom. Glad to see him back after being out injured a couple of weeks. Grissom, 5 carries, 76 yards, and a touchdown coming into tonight's contest. Gets the carry there, picks up about 3.
It's always good to see young men come back off of having been out for a little while, because you like to see them continue to come out and be part of the team. And they put in a lot of work, so I'm glad to see them doing well and being healthy.
Patel wide right as they go back to the ground. Eluding a tackler is Bell, but then brought down. Excellent penetration again by the champions. And I think, Noble, that's been the story of the night. They've been able to get into the backfield many times tonight, and we're not accustomed to seeing that.
Twofold, T-Roy. Not only have they been able to get in the backfield, that means they've been pushing off the line, been beating us off the line, and the strength.
Yeah.
But also, they've been doing a fine job of getting sideline to sideline as well, T-Roy.
Yeah, the other thing they've done, they've tackled well.
Oh, exceptionally well.
3rd down. Cantrell looking, gives ground, fires it out in the flat pass, caught. Grissom with it. He'll pick up his 1st down as Cantrell did a nice job, had some pressure, and tried to get himself turned just enough to be able to throw that football. He looped it out there. Grissom ran under it, caught it for the 1st down. Nicely executed.
One more time, T-Roy, in case the folks at home have never tuned in. Number 25, Cohen Grissom. Why we call him C-Jeezy?
Because he makes it look easy.
There you go, C.G. Easy. There he is right there, 6'1", 175-pound freshman, C-Jeezy.
2:27, clock moving here in the 4th quarter. Rockets trying to get on the board and avoid the shutout. Outside Marable running hard. Gets to the corner. 10-5, give him 6. There's your first high school touchdown for Antonio Marable. And that could be a sign that we want to see of things to come. But Noble, as you do that, I was all happy, and you start jerking on my sweatshirt, I see the yellow flag.
Yes, indeed, T-Roy. You're not the only one who's seen it. That man on the sideline, he's seen it. He's seen the yellow one also. So
I thought Antonio had used his speed to get to the sideline, but he got a little extra boost there.
And that's the thing. Antonio, he go back, he'll look at this. He was excited. He also thought, because he didn't know there was a holding call either. But I tell you what, you said it 4 or 5 plays ago. Number 25, number 22, and number 3. What all have in common?
Number 5.
Oh, and number 5. What they all have in common?
They are freshmen.
That's why I like working with you, my man. I told you deep in thought all the time.
Now that's the part I'm excited about. Give on the inside handoff, lost the handle, and
we got it back. The man got number 2 sticking up in there.
All right.
He got his 2 in the air. That means the Rockets ball.
Landon Groenveld comes out of there with it as we approach a minute left. Rockets have got to get some plays in quickly here. They're not going to have an awful lot of chances here with the running clock to score.
Well,
back at the 24.
All you got to do is just score one time, T-Roy.
I'm telling you. Cantrell with Grissom the back behind him. Marable, wing left. Cantrell to throw. Heaves it down the field. Got a man back there. Jump ball situation incomplete as he was intending it for Levi Van Patten. Champion defender gets back there and breaks it up.
Great coverage that time, T-Roy.
Yeah.
3rd down.
You know, Noble, and I'm just going to say it right now. I don't want to see the film. I'm not going to show the film. I'm going to burn this thing, and I'm going to pretend like this never happened.
I've said something to you like that before. I have no issue with that.
Cantrell down the field. Got a man back there. Oh, he didn't see it. Meeks was back there. The Cascade defensive back saw it. Meeks didn't. He wasn't able to adjust, and it's an interception as the game draws to a close. And for the Forrest Rockets, you got to go back to the drawing board a couple of times after this one. There's going to be a lot of writing on the drawing board. For them, an off week. The bye week comes at no better time. They get a couple of weeks to rest their bodies and their psyche as it's do or die time for the Rockets back here in a couple of weeks as Richland comes to town. You win, you keep your playoff hopes on life support. You lose, and you see them officially draw to a close. But here tonight, it was all Cascade as the champions improved to 4-3. With a 49-0 win. We'll take a commercial break. We'll be back to wrap it up.
Hey, there's my girl.
Who's that?
Life can be uncomfortable. Your home doesn't have to be. Ream Heating Equipment was designed to bring affordable comfort to any home. So no matter your budget, we can help you feel comfortable, even when you can't be comfortable.
Oh, come on! Yes, let's go!
When it's time for a tune-up or a new HVAC system, contact the trusted pros at Clint's Air Care for expert service and installation.
Welcome back. TC Sports 1 coverage of Rocket football tonight. Cascade comes in and the champions, you can see, as you talk about a happy group of champs down in the end zone. Back over here on the other side, they are definitely proud of what they've accomplished tonight. And, well, they should be. But the other thing I want you to look at, Noble, is we're going to pan our attention over here.
How the old adage go, T-Roy? Thrill of victory.
Agony of defeat. But the one thing you talked about, the fans didn't leave, and you see a lot of them headed out to the field now. We will regroup. We will recover. But tough lesson learned here tonight. Cascade comes in. They get the job done. Take your hats off to the champions. I'm sure we're going to talk about Huey, the job that he did in the second half in the run game. Dixon, Ricky will give you all the stats. Again, you got to put this one out of your mind. You know this pretty much was your playoffs tonight. Winner of this one, inside track to getting at least the 4 seed. Now the Rockets, at best, if they get in the playoffs, they're going to be either traveling more than likely to, I'm going to say Riverside as a 4 if you get in at best. And, you know, maybe by some stretch of the imagination, if everything falls just right, you get in as a 3 and have to head to Hohenwald. You're looking, if you get in, at a long road trip in the first round. Now, one thing you can say about that, if you win the next 2 weeks, you will go into the playoffs with some momentum if you can do that. Right now, that is a big if. You got 2 weeks to get this thing right. As a coaching staff, you're going to go back. You're going to look at all the things this next week that we did wrong. I'm not going to let the players see it. I'm just going to say, look, here's what we're going to do. We're going to sit down. We're going to dissect this thing. We've got to see where we can improve. Is there anything that we can do to get better over the course of these next couple of weeks? That's the thing that this coaching staff is going to stress. We're going to try to make sure that we're prepared. We're going to look, I'm thinking, at ourselves week 1. Then week of the next week, you're going to focus on Richland. I think the healing process is going to be what's going to take place this week. You got to heal physically. You got to heal mentally, I think, as much as anything. And then you got to have the belief as players that we can go out and win these last 2 region games.
T-Roy, you already put the formula together. You already got all the proper ingredients in there to mix up a batter or something that's very edible. So you got a bye week in there. You're talking about mentally and physically healing. And here's the question. You got to ask yourself, which one of those pains is the worst right now, the mental or the physical?
I'm going to be honest with you. I think it's far worse mentally right now than physically.
So what I'm saying to you is this. If that's the case, maybe we take full advantage of the bye week and we just take us a break altogether. And when I say a break altogether, let's just separate ourselves. Let's everybody go a different route for a little while, and y'all just give some thought to something other than football right now.
Boy, that's an interesting take. That would be a daring take. Need I say any more? I mean, that's something that's definitely out of the box for sure. But right now,